Speaking of placing up,
Mate, when you got Bunky, Nicholas, and so
you put Nicholas on that.
Western, Lombard is brilliant.
Yeah, you got to go
Just balloons.
Yeah. Not bad for a 16.
Mate, every time I see him play, his natural ability is
Yeah. When he was playing at the he doesn't feel like he doesn't look that place at all.
and that's the scary thing.
Yeah. But he was only playing against Carl. Yeah. Had a big job.
I don't get it when he's playing Western for 2 years.
Yeah.
Again, mate, they're mid-range teenagers. You can't even say that, but you might even just call them kids.
Yeah, kids, yeah.
Playing senior football.
Yeah.
Let alone the QAFL. I want to know where Brook lines up, where it starts.
Yeah, that's true. Probably D4.
Well, again, that's all good. If he's starting out of goals already,
Yeah.
but do they try and hide him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hide him, try and get it,
Would you want to go on there, mate? How long do you usually
and they don't know. I'm trying to think, they haven't done a top. How long we got?
Yeah, we've got 7 minutes. So when do you reckon we'll go?
I'll probably say
Yeah, we'll go in a couple. Yep. We can do a 5-minute lead. People make it up.
Straight after Wilston.
So can if I at times rolling that way, you can still see okay?
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to week 2 of the 2023 QAFL Final Series, coming to you from Subaru Oval on the beautiful Gold Coast on a lovely Saturday afternoon. My name's Kane Browning. I'm joined in the box by VFL stardom here in Chris Yendi Yend. Welcome back to QAFL Footy, Yendi.
Super pumped, mate. I was keeping the seat warm for you last year before you rose to start of this year. But fantastic day here today. The elimination semi-final between two quality outfits, and Wilston Grange coming in off probably the biggest victory of the year, and Broadbeach, which you saw very well last week firsthand with their big performance. Big change coming out of Broadbeach, which you made note of last week. We've got a handy change there, mate. Talk us through it.
Well, look, I mean, when you talk about this particular player, I mean, all you go say, Jacob Townsend, ladies and gents, who all of a sudden went from a bustling midfielder / full forward to arguably in the second half of the year one of the best taggers in the competition. Looks like he's out with a calf injury. Didn't come up after last week. Missed the whole second half last week. He did an absolute job on arguably one of the best midfielders for Palm Beach last week. Just absolutely blanketed him in the first half, and all of a sudden you realised, hang on, where did Jacob Townsend go? Pulled up with a bad calf, so he's missing this week. But I tell you what, you still look down this Broadbeach lineup, they're absolutely littered with quality players, as well as Wilston Grange after arguably the upset of the year last week against Surfers Paradise. Action about to start here from Subaru Oval. Umpire balls the ball up. Both ruckmen go up. Ball hits the deck. No clear winner on that occasion. Here come Grange with the first clearance of the game. Ends up in the hands of Lachlan Rook, who kicked 7 goals last week. So good start for him. Kicks towards full forward. Ball gets over the back. Grange trying to get out. Trying to get a shot on goal. Apologies. Here come Broadbeach through Jellyman Turner. Hits up. Number 27 in Cody Harrington, who also kicked 4 goals last week for the Cats. Kicks it out wide to Jai Lockett.
So Jai Lockett here on the commentary wing here for Broadbeach. Played some VFL footy this year. Good local talent. Kick up
crunch.
That free kick going back with the flight of the ball there was Zach Westerberg for the Gorillas. Wind blowing directly at us today, so we're hoping to see a bit more play. Kick along the line. Plenty of Cats around this contest.
Good tackle, big fella.
On Dirksen. So nice start early. Both teams starting to fill each other out, Kano.
No, you're definitely right there. And Tane Dawson, again, keeping that good form going. He had a pretty solid game last week in the ruck. Young man, done very well this year, especially in the back half. Ball gets pushed over the line for a boundary throw-in.
One matchup I'm really looking forward to seeing is Lucas Jellyman-Turner for Broadbeach playing on Caelan Baker. Both have started on the wing, and eager to see who wins that matchup. I know Baker has got his hands on the ball early.
Well, both ruckmen go up again. Dawson was the man in front. Again, speaking of Dawson, ends up with it. Handballs it off. Down the line looking for Lockett. Could have been held. No free kick paid. Here come the Gorillas kicking back down the line. Comes off his chest was the young man in Rook. Ends up in the hands of Searle. Gets bumped off the ball. Play on, says the umpire. Ends up with Taylor. Here comes Nicholas right through the corridor. Look at him go. Kicks inside 50. Not the best of kicks. Looking for Gilmore. Ball rolling. Gilmore could be in the back. No, says the umpire. There'll be another boundary throw-in.
And just a jumper change as well. As Kano, we've got Patrick Snell there for Wilston Grange. He's wearing number 18 as opposed to 27. I think he's been listed as wearing 4 or 5 different jumper numbers across the year. Just pick one, Patrick. Just pick one.
Well, 18's not the worst number in the world. It's probably a little bit better than 27, but that's just my view. There's a bit of push and shove. Reeves is in amongst it. He had a massive day out last week, kicking 6. And it looks like the umpire's picked up a free kick going to the Cats.
Yeah, free kick for too high out of that ruck contest, and that will put Lockett in prime position. Jai Lockett, who's kicked He kicked 2 goals, 5 last week for the Cats.
He was just a little bit off. Got caught under the ball a number of times. There's the first goal of the afternoon going to the Cats. They lead by 6 points. 1 goal straight 6. Wilston Grange yet to score. Just played just under 3.5 minutes in the opening quarter, Yendi.
Absolutely. I want to do a big shout out to Luca Fattore, who I think he's down in Tassie now. His old man, his old dad, the Mav, as his nickname is, he got life membership of the Macedon Junior Football Netball Club last night. So well done to the Fattore family and all involved there. But it's always good to have people from all over the country tuning into this coverage. Just a great start there from the Cats. They've got Tane Dawson, one of the players we've already spoken about, one to watch. And he's got the tough job already, lining up on Zach Westerberg in the ruck. Both teams have elite midfielders. But it's the Cats. They're winning out now to Semler. 1-2 now out towards Boki here on the commentary wing. Arches the back. Goes on his favourite left foot. Gets the kick ahead there of his opponent there in Oscar Stewart. Up towards high half forward. Marlon McGregor goes to ground. That's brought into him there by his opponent. But the umpire is going to pin him. GAW ain't gone. Free kick to Ryan Gilmore. So Gilmore here for the Cats. Puts it around about 35 metres out from goal. Mark not quite taken there for Broadbeach. I think that might have been Lockett. It wasn't. It was Reeves. And the Gorillas clear.
Geez, ball rolling towards this commentary side boundary. It's up in the hands of... Oh, hang on. Bit of niggle going on. That's okay early on. That was number 55, Zanka Close. Just guiding the ball over the boundary line. It ended up being a 3-on-1, so well done, mate. Didn't allow the ball to get over the back. They had the extra numbers, Wilston Grange. Oh, Wilston Grange player gets taken out. No free kick. Good smother there. Ball rolling. Semler couldn't get the ball clear. That was a good smother by number 48 in Rosenbrock. Great effort there right on the boundary line.
Umpire was not in the right position there to pay that high tackle to Wilston Grange, hence why we've got the stoppage over here.
Both ruckmen go up against Wilston Grange. That could be deemed a throw. No free kick. Baker laid the tackle, and that was lower, pushing the ball over the boundary line for another boundary throw.
Umpires today in the field, Matt Bellina, Henry Harris, Rowan Smith. I'll go through the boundary ones very shortly, but quick around the grounds as well. Aspley 1 straight 6 lead. Redland Victoria Point yet to score early stages first term. Kick around the body here up towards Sam Jasper. Bounces in front of him. He's free kick, high tackle. So the Gorillas were going to take the advantage, but it's been called back now. Harry Wilson with the free kick across half back.
And obviously Townsend going out, it gave the opportunity to Brendan Chadwick, who's been missing from the senior lineup for a while, hasn't been able to get his spot back. So welcome back, Chadwick.
Will Martin kicks the ball down the line up towards half forward. Dawson bounces away from him. Boundary umpires today: Brendan Press, Ronan Mahoney, Paige Smith. Down on the goals, we've got Elias Bushenbill and Connor Johnstone. So well done to all the umpires getting a gig today.
Both ruckmen go up once more. Wilson Grange tapped it down in front. Could get the clearance here. Semler tried to lay the tackle, and again, the pressure's building between these two sides. No one's getting on top in these early stages.
For those who are just joining us, it was Jai Lockett that kicked the opening goal of the game at the 3-minute mark of this term from a free kick 30 metres out from goal. To go with his 2 goals, 5 last week.
Lombard just seen off the back of this pack. Dawson gives away the free kick in the ruck contest.
And I think that's just something we're going to see from Dawson as he starts to build into his career too, giving away free kicks.
Look at the players running off here for the Gorillas. Steps, weave, dodges, launches a nice left foot kick inside 50. Look at the pack around the footy there. Ball's going to get locked up. Umpire decides to come in for a stoppage. Geez, the amount of players inside attacking 50 for the Gorillas. A mountain of players in there.
It certainly is, as the Broadbeach try and clear the ball out across half back. And we'll see another stoppage. They've got the Cats have to be wary of Dan Bowles as well, because he got off the chain last week, 32 disposals. A lot of kicks between wing and half back as Richardson brings the ball down, and Boakey, a kick under pressure on his favoured left foot, goes out of bounds on the full.
Geez, that running capacity from that half-back line too for the Cats. I mean, the likes of Boakey, Searle and Nicholas. I mean, you couldn't argue that there's not much of a better half-back line in the competition in season 2023. So the run and carry from those types of players are going to be massive for the Cats this afternoon. As the ball gets pushed into the Gorillas' forward pocket there.
And they're missing their rising star as well out of all that too, and that being the form of Jared Eckersley. And
exactly
talking
right.
to some of the members of the club, it's a bit frustrating. He's going to be lining up for the Suns in the VFL, but geez, I would love to have him today. And by extension too, Jack Manley for Wilston Grange will be playing for Gold Coast later on tonight.
As plays, again, they're still feeling each other out here. Gilliman Turner tries to get the ball out of trouble. Got to bring the ball to ground, Lockett. Can't do it on that occasion. That could be 50. No, says the umpire. Actually, no, that wasn't Lockett on the mark. That was Lowe. As again, not the best of kicks going inside 50, but it's good enough. Gilliman Turner tried to clip him on the way down to the ground too. Umpire's right there again.
Good work there by Fazaldine. It's the first time I've seen the great man, or the young kid, play in the flesh, and the way he presented himself, pushing it half forward and taking that mark on the second attempt under a lot of pressure is a testament to what this young kid has been able to do in season 2023.
Fazaldine comes in now. Probably just inside 50 when he kicks this. Right foot kick. It's coming back with the breeze. Look at that for a goal. That's the first goal on the board for the Wilston Grange Gorillas. Scores are level here. We've played just under 10 minutes in the opening quarter. And Yendi, where do you think Wilston Grange are going well, and where do you think Broadbeach have got to improve in that back line?
I think Broadbeach have just got to play possession footy across half-back just to clear it out, because it's a lot of congestion and they're finding themselves rushing, clearing that kick out, and Wilston Grange are aware of that. They're open to that. They've got a good defensive line set up across wing and half forward for them to just send the ball back in. And so if I was Broadbeach, I'd just like to chip the ball around and play possession footy.
Well, you got Westenberg in the ruck against Dawson. And again, you want that run and carry from their halfbacks. You don't want them just launching kicks out of trouble towards the boundary line, because they're just going. The Wilston Grange is going to launch attack after attack. That wall's going to break and crumble eventually.
We've got that match-up between Baker and Lucas Jellyman-Turner still in play here on this commentary side of the ground, as the Gorillas now win another clearance. Handball up towards the high half forward, taken here by Bowes, forced on his opposite foot, cheeky left foot, very good, finds Fazaldine. He's got a lead inside the forward line, it holds up in the breeze, and a strong mark taken there in defence by the Cats.
Geez, Searle got lucky there, because he had to come forward to the contest and left his direct opponent completely free. That was such a smart move, that check side kick back in board. Almost set up a goal for the Gorillas.
Ball on the outer side there for the Cats. A red sign that has gone out that part of the ground. He's forced to retreat, but I don't mind this. Just chipping the ball around, trying to open space as Zanka close out towards Lucas. Jellyman-Turner takes a bounce across half back there for the Cats. Kick up towards the corridor now and finds his teammate. It bobbles fortuitously for him. It doesn't. Nicholas finds the run there of Boakey. Caught on his favoured left side in this point in time.
Good kick.
Thread the eye of the needle. Found Gilmore, long way out from goal. Gorillas player had his back turned to play. Handball's back up towards the corridor. Good defensive work there by Bishop there as they look to clear the ball across the outer side. Unnecessary, and Sam Jasper will have a shot on goal 35 metres out. Identical position for where Lockett had his shot on goal earlier.
And again, just got caught, just clipped him a little bit high. The umpire was right there on the spot. The free kick was there. Trying to put the shepherd on, just caught him a little bit high. Unfortunately, worst time to give away a free kick to an opponent, and Jasper's lining up for his first goal of the day.
That's where you need to just tuck the arm in, just lean into it, just to deviate him off his line just a little bit. The stray arms proving costly is Sam Jasper, 35 metres out, almost directly in front, threads it straight through. Goal for goal to start the elimination semi-final here, thanks to Bradnam's Windows and Doors. It's the Cats by one straight goal.
And that's the thing too, we've mentioned it a couple of times as well. The likes of Searle, especially Boakey on that really trusted left foot, that run and carry across half back. Nicholas as well, that mark in the middle of the ground, can open up the corridor right up for the Cats. But that's what you want from Broadbeach. You don't want them just launching bombs out of defence, where Wilston Grange can build that wall across the wings and just launch attacks back in. So they use the ball a little bit better, and in the end got a little bit lucky with that free kick inside attacking 50.
Aspley 1-1-7 lead Redlands Victoria points, 1 straight 6, so that's one behind early stages in that term. I think they're about 13 minutes gone as well.
Geez, I mean, arguably you want that home prelim final, another week off potentially. Both ruckman, no clean winner on that occasion. Here come Grange again. They've probably won every centre clearance so far in the opening quarter. Launches back inside, tagging 50. Couldn't take the mark on that occasion. Searle was there. That's okay. They're just being a little bit fumbly with the ball, which is very unfamiliar for the Broadbeach defence. Nicholas is there, decides to go backwards. There's a deliberate skill error by number 17. Can't quite see who that is, actually. We'll get back to that on the last line. Pushed it through for a rush behind.
There'll be a number change somewhere down the other line.
Oh, yep, definitely in the back. Gilmore. Here come the Gorillas once more. Left foot kick, inside tagging 50. Searle at the drop of the ball. That's a good grab. Searle actually got stuck. He wasn't sure whether to go back with the fly of the footy or get to the front of the contest. He decided to get to the front, and all of a sudden, a man running behind him took an easy chest mark. What is he? Probably 35, 40 metres out on a slight angle.
And that's where the ball's it's dropped really well in that space, and it's handy to play in front.
And that's Billy Richardson. Richardson, left foot kick. That's another goal to Wilston Grange. Again, like you said before, Yandy, goal for goal in the opening quarter. And they've got the lead as well. 2 straight kicks, 12 Broadbeach. 2-1-13 Wilston Grange. 15 and a half minutes played in the opening quarter.
Yeah, the wind's not really favouring either end of the ground, but it's interesting. We've got multiple changes happening here as Nicholas comes off for a spell alongside Semler. But Broadbeach got their goals, 2 goals through free kicks. Grange have got their 2 goals through set shots from marks. So they're doing better a lot at finding the target. Broadbeach, on the other hand, they just haven't had as many opportunities.
No, and that forward line pressure has been right up in the opening quarter from Wilston Grange, which is really good. You've got to make those sort of roaming backline players for the Cats accountable. So good start to the Gorillas as Baker shuts that attempt at a clearance for Wilston Grange. That was actually Fiddler. Umpires found a free kick. Going to the Gorillas, the big ruckman decides to go out wide. Ericsson trying to shut down, brings the ball to ground. Well done to Ericsson. Chadwick's there laying a good solid tackle. Umpire comes in for a stoppage.
So high half forward there for the Gorillas. It's spent a lot of the 16 and a half minutes already. Big spear into the ground. Well, Bailey Gordon will be feeling that one.
Geez, got him right in the rib cage then. That could have gone pear-shaped very quickly, but well done to all parties concerned. No one got hurt on that occasion.
Taylor switched it across the outer side, and here's an opportunity from Lombard. He recovers well, deft little touch, picked up there by McGregor there for the Gorillas. Locks horns with Smith. Ball on the outer side. Cats going to ground, knocked up towards the corridor now. Umpire says pushing the back, so it'll be a free kick to the Gorillas. They've got some options deep. Zanker close for Broadbeach. One-on-one with his opponent at the top of the goal square. It'll fall short, goes out towards Searle, and we'll see a boundary throw in as we're seeing Gordon. He's coming off the ground after that heavy tackle there from Joel Philippone.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a lower leg injury. Might have just twisted the ankle. Hopefully he'll have a rest. Probably get strapped up, double checked. Oh, he looks in a fair bit of pain actually. His
left leg.
Left leg, unfortunately. Shot on goal here. That's gone a million miles in the air. Good luck marking that. Oh, one of the Gorillas forwards almost got there. Gilliman turn fires a hairball out. Again, the forward pressure here from Wilston Grange is very good. Gets pushed through for a minor score. 2-2-14. Leading Broadbeach. 2 straight kicks 12. 2 points the margin. 18 minutes played in the first quarter.
2 rush behinds separating these two teams at the minute. So we've had 2 rush behinds, 2 goals from free kicks to Broadbeach, 2 goals from marks from Wilston Grange. So we've got the hat trick there of variety as Kwabi Boki runs off half back. Looking for Harrington and Dawson. Comes down the ground there from Vowles. Here comes Reeves. Reeves squeezed out a handball. Was looking for lower. Got a handball out in front of Lanthois. Handball up towards Lucas Jellyman-Turner. And with a quick burst of speed. A kick up towards half forward. Low. Gets front position there. 2 Gorillas collide. Here's a chance for Sam Jasper. Paddles it out now to Low. Low straightens up. Maintains his composure. And kicks a goal. And the Cats are back in front by 4.
Jeez, it was a raffle in the end, wasn't it, Yenny? They had 2 guys, 2 spare players in the goal square screaming for the footy. But again, when the Cats have had the opportunity to get that running carry going from half back, how dangerous they look compared to the just bombing our defence allows the Wilston Grange set up to shut that down. But I tell you what, geez, that midfield battle is really juicy between these two this afternoon.
Oh, so that's 3 mistakes that Wilston Grange have made. They've given away 2 free kicks before and 2 defenders bumped into each other, taking themselves out of the contest, which had Broadbeach +2 around that contest, set them up. So there's 3 mistakes that Wilston Grange have made that have resulted in 3 goals.
Gilliman-Turner was really solid breaking through that corridor as well. He came off from deep in defence to set up that kick inside forward 50. As again, the Gorillas trying to get the clearance from the middle of the ground. Lower puts the pressure on. Good tackle laid by the Cats. Here comes the pressure now. Handball over the top. They've been so good with ball in hand this year, the Cats. Not on that occasion, though. Looking for Wilston Grange forwards. Couldn't get there on that occasion was Richardson. Ball gets pushed over the line for another boundary throw.
Lucas Jellyman-Turner just playing that loose man in defence as well. He's trying to shake the tag there from Baker, but essentially Baker is forming part of that wall should Broadbeach try and clear the ball out. So they've got that 25 metre separation from each other.
He's on goal side. Baker just back of this contest. Snap on goal. Could have bounced over the top. Touched in that contest. Another minor score goes to the Gorillas. Still 2-3-15. Grange trailing Broadbeach 3 straight goals, 18.
Sharks by a point over Aspley. It's 128 to 117 time on in the first term.
Ball gets kicked out from defence. Looking for Searle. Takes the mark.
He's got all one-on-ones ahead of him, although Westerberg is standing loose in the middle of the ground there.
Kicks over Gilmore's head, but they had a spare player over the back of the contest. Lockett. Handball's back inside. Oh, good tackle laid. That's got to be on the ball. Yes, it is.
So free kick to the Gorillas across half back.
That was a great chase down. Ran probably 15, 20 minutes to lay that tackle.
Well, they've got some great speed in this team, the Gorillas. As Broadbeach have as well as Rosenbrook with the ball on the outer side, just pokes it up towards half forward. And if Nicholas was the target, well, he certainly did a good job of that.
Oh, dangerous kick.
Out towards Lucas Jellyman-Turner was the target there as Baker snaps the ball around his body. It'll bounce fortuitously there for Broadbeach. Across half back, we'll pump it back to once a game. Out towards Lucas Jellyman-Turner again, comes out now to Baker. Baker meters in for the boundary line, corralled over the boundary there by Searle. And we'll see a boundary throw-in as we've got a change here. Jackson Gordon coming off the ground and Dan Lanthois is coming on the ground here for Wilston Grange.
And that's what Broadbeach are looking for. They're looking for the likes of Nicholas. Just sit off the back as that spare man, Jellyman-Turner as well. And have Wilston Grange have that panic kick inside 50, kicking straight to those roaming intercept marking backmen. So they've got to be a little bit smarter with the ball in hand, Wilston Grange. If worst comes to worst, bring the ball, make a contest, bring the ball to ground. Cats now looking for Gilmore. Couldn't get his hands on the footy. Look at the numbers around this contest. Ball comes out. Kick inside 50 towards half forward. Jasper was there. Leonardo had the ball there. Oh, it surely got pushed under the ball. Got to be a free kick.
It's Lockett.
Yes, it is. Jeez, ended up in a really compromising position. What do they call that? Is it? It's not tanking.
Tunnel.
Tunneling.
Yeah, it's tunneled, yeah.
I was going to say tanking, but that's not the right word to use. Definitely got tunnelled under the ball.
Well,
he's pulled up extremely sore, Lockett.
Well, if he's successful in kicking this, and we hope that he does recover, it's an identical position where he kicked the first goal of the game, but that's 3 free kicks from goals, plus the brutal turnover there with 2 gorillas colliding. So essentially there's 4 goals they've given away, and that's probably good for Broadbeach because they're going to have their time where they're going to lace up and hit targets, and they've had 4 gimmies there essentially.
How good was Lombard too, roaming across half forward, being able to set that kick inside
Time
50.
stood still, mate.
Oh, for a 16-year-old kid, doesn't do it too bad of a job. Lockett kicked another one. So they're kicking the ball straight and true at the moment, the Broadbeach Cats. 4 straight goals, 24. Leading Wilston Grange 2-3-15. 20, just over 24 minutes played.
And we're at a game-high lead, 9 points the margin. Around the grounds in the QAFL, thanks to Bradnam's Windows and Doors, it's Redlands Victoria Point 2-2-14, leading Aspley 1-1-7, with the winner going straight through to the big dance, and the loser will host the winner of this game. So it's we're getting the business end of the season, obviously. As Sam Pettigrew coming onto the ground, avoiding that 6-6-6 confusion. Broadbeach having a win in the reserves as well over Aspley by 32 points. McGuinness kicking 5 goals in a best-on-ground performance there for the Cats. On the restart here as Lucas Jellyman-Turner has been moved back into the midfield for the first time today.
Ericsson is back in their midfield group as well for the Cats.
Yeah, well, he slotted onto the wing just to force Jellyman-Turner back in there. Is attacked out of there by Ericsson. Looking for Harrington inadvertently. Here comes Sam Jasper. Handballs out to a teammate under pressure. That was Chadwick. Up towards high half forward. Gilmore, kick around the body, looking for and finding Harrington on the burst, in the forward pocket, clever work, Jellyman-Turner, right foot kick, Jasper, right foot goal, yes! Stunning from the Cats, getting goals here in time on.
Geez, it doesn't have to be perfect, but sometimes just that little nothing kick or that nothing handball just gives the teammate a little bit more room to move. Jellyman-Turner all of a sudden ended up with the ball in hand, just going, hang on, I've got to put the ball on boot. Nothing kick, just roll along the ground. And who was it?
It was Sam Jasper.
It was Sam Jasper. And ends up with the ball, snap over the shoulder.
And this is probably the fastest track that we've got in the QAFL. So when that ball bounces, and particularly on a day like today, there's no moisture in the ground. So we're going to see the ball bounce really, really quick. Essentially, you could dribble the ball from 50 metres out, and it's probably still going to go for a goal with any momentum. That's just how fast this is. It's like a dead 4 in the races.
We haven't had we had a little bit of rain during the week, but it was more show rather than go.
It certainly was.
A lot of lightning, not much rain. So these grounds down the Gold Coast, very hard indeed. As the ball gets pushed towards the half-forward line for the Gorillas. Good pick up there. Launches a right foot kick inside 50. Broadbeach Cats player in front. Takes an easy mark. That was number 41 in Howard. Howard chipped out wide. Taylor's there. Just holding the ball up a little bit. Chips the ball forward. Looks like Chadwick. Chadwick decides to come back in board. Jellyman-Turner drops probably what he should have taken. Tried to push the ball out. Now the back line's under pressure. Nicholas didn't even go for the ball. Searle trying to lay the tackle. Chips ball. Not the best. Ends up in the hands of Chadwick.
So Chadwick switches across the outer side, just highlight the chaos of the bounce of the ball. Just a heavy track that it is, with a lot of hard bouncing as it goes out down to Dawson. Taken here by the Wilston Grange side up towards high half forward. Mark taken there from 60 metres out from goal. How's the target? Good defensive work there from Zanka Close. Tries to turn, I think it might have been Fiddler inside out. Searle under pressure. Taken here.
Look at the pickup.
Ericsson to Bokey. Lovely smother. Textbook work there from the Gorillas. That forward pressure, particularly in the shadows of quarter time, could assist them getting another goal.
Geez, the pickup from Ericsson was brilliant, and the smother from, I'm not quite sure who it was down that end for Wilston Grange, was even better. Again, that forward pressure has been really good in the first quarter. That's exactly what Coach Maloney would have wanted pre-game. Both ruckmen go up again. Again, sort of red time in this opening quarter between these two. Ball gets hacked towards that hot spot. Here comes Bokey. Here's that running carry we've been talking about. Again, that bounce of the ball isn't great for Nicholas. Isn't great for the Wilston Grange player either. Step, weave, dodge. Number 31, and Stewart. Now, what happened there?
So Baker and Taylor were going head to head, and I think Baker infringed, so too high, right in front of the umpire as well, who wasn't controlling at the time, but the deep zone umpire.
Zanker Closer started extremely well down back for the Cats.
Well, he's got a tough job. He's got a tough job on Huey Fiddler, and that's a big ask, and he's handled it really well. Fiddler hasn't got a disposal yet.
Looking for Dawson. Ball ends up a bit of a chaos ball. Broadbeach decide to go out wide. Looking for Ericsson. They've got that extra number if they handball over the top, which they do. Here they come now down this broadcast side wing. Gilmore had no chance there. Got completely bypassed. McGregor has it. Oh, try marking that, boys. Someone's got to go. Ericsson was there, tapping the ball towards the boundary line. Good tackle laid. The pressure's still been good from Broadbeach. That was Howard laying that one right in front of us here on the boundary line.
Around the grounds, Redland Victoria point 3-2-20 have kicked the last 3 goals against Aspley. They're 1-2-8. They led by as much as 13 points. The margin's now cut back down to 12 as Dawson again doing all the heavy lifting in the ruck. Taken there by Nixon Smith.
Good handball.
To Martin. Martin up towards half forward. All one-on-ones here. No one behind this contest. It suits Nicholas. Nicholas just hacks the ball up towards the commentary wing. Bounces over the head there of Dawson. Lovely tackle. Recovery there. Umpire was blindsided, but the outer zone umpire was able to pick it.
Geez, Lombard again was brilliant, but unfortunately, Chilliman Turner couldn't keep that hand below the shoulder.
Nixon Smith here on the commentary wing, and that's going to be a 50-metre penalty against Lucas Chilliman-Turner. And Lockie Nixon Smith, who spent a lot of time in the back line, finds himself up at forward.
Now, we're talking about, giving away free kicks and goals being kicked from those free kicks. That's probably the first time Broadbeach has done something like that. As gets kicked to the hot spot. Looking for Dawson. Couldn't get there on that occasion. 2-on-1 here in favour of the Gorillas. Handballs over the top. Oh, that's another great tackle. Gets pushed off though. Here's a chance for Wilston Grange. Kicks inside 50. Again, the bounce of the ball. Not great for Nicholas. Serlo, brilliant across half-back. Launches a kick. Baker's there for the Gorillas. Got that spare man behind him. Didn't use him. Kicks back towards half-forward. Bokey pushes his man under the ball. No free kick paid. Bokey on the left foot. Really kicks to no one. It's a 2-on-1 in favour of the Gorillas. The two went out. Playing handball with each other. Kicks back in board. Bokey's there. That's a good effort from the Cats. Good pressure across that wing. Just missed the leg kick. Ends up in the hands of the roaming Bokey.
So they look to settle it now as we're deep in the time on. The Cats have kicked 2 goals to none in this time on period, which has extended the lead to 15 points. But it is quarter time, Kano, as we get ready for a big second term.
No, you're definitely right there. Broadbeach, straight and true at the moment. 5 straight kicks, 30. Wilston Grange, 2-3-15. Quarter time here at Subaru Oval. We'll be back for second quarter QAFL finals action in a few moments.
I'm taking a stab at saying Glenville's wearing number 17. Yeah. I was like, there's another change.
I knew I saw 17. I'm not saying so.
It's actually not something.
I was when I was doing the previews this week, I was looking at the team list from the grand final last year. I'm like, that's why he's not playing this footy club anymore. He's not playing seniors. That can't be him. He's a tall bloke too. So we've got Fascine and Billy Richardson. I hadn't even noticed on my so after every score, that's why I always produce that.
Yeah, I'm just geez, Nicholas, like, every time Nicholas goes to the water, everywhere but straight.
Yeah. Oh, sweet.
Gordon, touches, and that, they've got that right away with his there.
Yep. So he's been speared up, dropped to the ground.
And that wasn't like
No.
but that, yeah, I reckon his leg got caught like that.
Oh, when he's coming to ground?
No, that initial contact. Maybe a knee.
Okay, yeah.
Because it didn't seem like, because he was on his back, it didn't seem like he got twisted or pulled up.
Yeah, it was pretty
I reckon it was just that initial contact he got in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a sting over the shoulder. If it doesn't tear.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah.
So with those transitions, essentially when the yes. Yeah, we heard you couldn't find it.
Thanks, mate.
So when someone's taking a shot on goal, the other person that drops off comes back on, and then that's it. Really, it's new territory for you.
No, honestly, this is it's fine. It's just like
And the key thing is we want to get you on. You'd rather sort of go half of 45, and then find a way to sort of switch over, and then drop in like spinner and spatter, and then pick it up again. So prevent yourself from.
I don't worry about it. You're always almost visualising. So I just try and
Yeah, but see, this is the thing too. When you haven't got the play, look around.
No, but that's what I know.
Yeah. So that sort of comes into it. You could almost see play happen before it happens.
Yeah, but you're picking up almost like a thought on short line.
Yeah.
You're just staying the same. Putting it on half.
Sorry.
No, but that's good because you're picking it up as it goes on. It's that sense of,
And sometimes it's hard as well. When you're zooming in, you're almost like Josh here on the camera, you're almost sort of zooming in, but you're almost zooming out because you want to sort of see what's that next kick that's going to be before it happens while you've still got the play. But it's still in the same instance that you're calling it to. But that comes with, calling VFL football being up in the nosebleeds. You have a perfect.
No one can hear you screaming.
Yeah, but you've got a thank you. You've got a better vantage point where you can see things a lot wider.
Oh yeah.
My first umpiring coach, he used to say he used to sit up in the stands and watch the umpires, then sit up the top and watch the position so you could see where they're going.
Here's the other one, Bishop. 22.
For some reason. And welcome back to second week QAFL finals footy. We're pretty much knockout stages from here on in. Juicy contest. First quarter done and dusted here at Subaru Oval. Broadbeach leading 5 straight kicks 30. Wilston Grange 2-3-15. 15 points the margin. My name's Kane Breen. I'm joined in the box by Chris Yendi Yend And Yendi, where do you think Broadbeach just started to get on top at the back end of that first quarter?
They just started to move really quickly through the midfield, transitioned the ball really well, and we want to highlight too that just their ability to eventually just switch the play from one end of the ground to the other and then catch the opposition out in a big way. Injury news, though, I'll let you, for you to make note of, mate. What did we see coming off at quarter time?
Geez, not a good sight for Wilston Grange supporters. Bailey Gordon came off the ground on crutches with the left knee heavily iced and strapped up. Arguably from a contest he was involved with in that first quarter. It might have been a bit of knee-on-knee action. Came off second best. Looks like he's done for the day, unfortunately, for the Gorillas.
Well, the Gorillas are kicking to the left of your screen, and probably feel for the Brisbane Lions VFL team too, because he does come into consideration in that sense as the Gorillas pump the ball up towards centre half, forward, big fly, ball at ground level. Nicholas wears some pressure there from Fazaldine, comes out now to Semler now out towards Sanka close on his opposite foot. Baker here for the Gorillas, bounces away from him. We saw Jasper coming hot at him.
Oh, look at that for a tackle.
And he takes it out of bounds, and we'll see a throw in. And quick around the grounds too. It is quarter time over at Aspley, and scores a level 3-2 apiece against Redland Victoria Point. All the forwards getting into the action. Hellman and Stackelberg kicking goals.
Geez, good luck picking a winner out of those two this afternoon as Dawson pushing the ball forward, goes to ground. Jasper's there once more, putting the body pressure on. Lower wants to get involved as well. Bit of push and shove. Umpire's not going to be having any of that. Right in front of us here on the broadcast side wing. Loser goes out. Winner goes on to play the loser out of Aspley and Redland Victoria Point next week for a spot in the grand final. As Lower launches a ball, just not the best of kicks. Gets cut off.
Got Martin up through the corridor.
Don't think they're going to use him. A little bit late to use him now. Jasper's on the mark for Broadbeach. Probably going to go down the line. Decides to go back on the left. Jasper laid a brilliant tackle. Back in the hands of the Cats. Chips the ball up. That's Harrington.
Wilston Grange got one loose in defence.
Harrington goes boundary side to Reeves. Reeves chips the ball inside 50. Back to Jasper. Jasper, not quite sure where he's going to go from there. He's right on the boundary line.
Wilston Grange has still got that one loose 30 metres out.
He's going to go to a hot spot. Numbers are probably with the Gorillas. Ball hits the deck. Jeez, look at the Broadbeach player there in Harrington. He wanted it more. Gets the ball back. Left foot snap on goal. Is it coming back enough? No. Fades just to the left. How good was Harrington there?
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
Multiple efforts there from young Cody. And he's kicked their first blemish on the board today, but it's a game-high lead, 16 points. Big shout-out to our man Josh here on the camera, bringing you all the action right around the country. They told me he was the best in the business before arriving today. From all reports, he is delivering. As the ball is pumped out towards the outer side, Westerberg is the meat and the sandwich. As the Cats do have some extra numbers in the form there of Boki to provide some added pressure on this contest. Almost shoveled out there to Bishop. Cats now through the corridor, through Searle. Searle just sends the ball along inside the forward 50. They should make the most of this. Gilmore does, and Gilmore goals. And that's another one that is 4 on the bounce for the Cats.
Geez, you'd love to see scores from corridor where, again, Searle just was able to have a bit more of open space. Could have ran probably 10, 15 metres, decided not to. It was a one-on-one contest in the goal square. Gilmore, too big, too strong, took an easy mark and a great goal. First goal on the board in the second quarter goes to the Cats.
And it was good for them to press the ball up through the corridor to Searle, who had parked himself there. He was on his own for about 30 seconds, and he had plenty of space around him, so he had a little bit more time to premeditate the kick where it was going to go, should it come out to him before it got to him, which is fantastic. You did see that one-on-one from that 0 to 15 metres out, which is exactly where that ball went.
And kick to Gilmore's advantage. That was the key there. You know, just allow your forward, perfect position, push your direct opponent under the ball. Don't give away the free kick, obviously. Took an easy chest mark, turned around, kicked a goal. It's a great effort there by the Cats. As again, Grange trying to get the clearance.
Grange haven't kicked a goal in 21 minutes of play. In that time, the Cats have kicked 4 goals in the space of 15 minutes.
Jeez, Tane Dawson trying to get the tap out. Who was that? Bishop. Bishop was there. Philippine hasn't really got into the game so far. Was second to it on that occasion as well. Searles there coming across. Could have been given the free kick. No free kick paid. Nicholas is there. Steps back inside. Good running carry from Nicholas. Look at Lombard playing in front. Right in the middle of the ground. Chips back in board. Not the best of kicks. Good tackling pressure there from Grange. But guess what? Lombard's got it back. Kicks the ball back inside 50. No one get clean possession. Reeves is there for the Cats. Gets pushed over the boundary line for a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for the Broadbeach Cats.
Yeah, well done there by Lombard. His repeat efforts there, fantastic. And that's the one thing you can really appreciate what he's developed into his game is that he'll go up and follow up the kick. And he has done that before, and he uses his left and right foot beautifully as the ball is tucked away inside the forward line again for the Cats. A rare stoppage for them because they do move there at quick capacity as Philippone has a kick and he misses. So the lead extending out to 23 points, 5.5 gone in the second term.
No, and that's the thing right now too. Wilson Grange hasn't really been able to get their hands on the ball in some open space.
Just slow it down. Get some possession. Don't rush the kicks. There's still plenty of time.
Speaking of not rushing the kick, goes out wide to that far side. Not quite sure he was aiming for there. Ball rolls over the line. Umpire says throw the ball in. And really just a nothing kick from full back. Really wasn't kicking to anyone but open space. Probably lucky not to be called deliberate.
Well, since they've been sending the ball on that outer side, that's where they've really kicked themselves out of this contest. When they've brought the ball out towards the commentary side, they've been able to play more attacking brand of football.
Dawson now brings the ball to ground. Ball rolling, good handball there. Lombard trying to keep the ball in. That's good on that occasion.
Magnet to him, isn't it, Lombard?
And that's the thing too. Wilson Grange has just had no access to that corridor whatsoever. I mean, yes, they've kicked a couple of goals, but they haven't found themselves in dangerous spots where they can really make that backline work for the Broadbeach Cats. They haven't really had to be accountable at all at this stage. As speaking of which, guess what? They're going through the corridor, the Gorillas. Decide to go out wide, though.
And they're bringing it out to this side, Kano.
Keep coming out this side. Decides not to. Baker was screaming for the ball.
Lucas Jellyman-Turner is playing the hard tag on him too, so he's going to keep him out. It's negated Baker's influence.
Again, they decide to go out the other side through Nixon Smith. And again, just so easy for that half-back defence just to roam and drift across the ground. Slow pace at this stage isn't going to help the Gorillas. And Bokey was just easily able to defend, push the ball over the line for a boundary throw in.
Well, it's a good matchup, that one there with Dirksen as Broadbeach pushing forward now through Bishop. Handballs over the top, back through the corridor, back to Bishop. They've got Searle out on this outer side if they want to use him. They'll kick the ball out towards Taylor. Searle will still be the option. Taylor drops Reza drops the mark. Comes out now to Bales. He can kick this 50 metres on his left without too much trouble. Looking for Dirksen. 2 Cats went up, slips over the back now. Gledhill handballs up towards the corridor. Here's a chance, almost thrown between the legs. Comes out now to the Gorillas. Handball back up towards the corridor. Martin loops the ball up. This is going to be one for Nicholas. Brings the ball to ground. They've got an opportunity here. They must kick with this one, and they will. Through Fazeldine, and he pumps it out of the ground. And Kano, they come to us. They come through the corridor. They come out towards the commentary wing. Some people might think we're crazy, but we might know a thing or two because that's the 3 goals they've kicked coming out towards the commentary wing.
And that was the massive thing too. Being able to make those halfbacks accountable, don't give them that easy intercept mark, brought the ball to ground. All of a sudden, that forward press that they've been creating in that first quarter, trying to lock the ball in, the Gorillas, that came to fruition. being able to bring the ball to ground, put that back line under immense pressure. All of a sudden they had the outnumber, the handball over the top. Boki wasn't able to cut across in time, and that was a great goal to Fazaldine. That's goal number 2 for the young man.
And that's another probably mistake in a sense where 3 Broadbeach players went up. Nicholas went up. If he had stayed down, Wilston Grange don't have that extra number at ground level.
Dawson now goes up once more, but again, Wilston Grange probably going to get the centre clearance here, but the tackling pressure is good from the Cats. Ends up in the hands of Baker for Grange. Chips the ball, looking for Fazaldine once more, and again, getting a bit of space through the corridor. Fazaldine kick inside 50, that's better. Drops the mark though. Number 20, Richardson, what are you doing, mate? Now they've got the overlap, the Cats. Lombard. Look at the pace from Lombard. Running away. Kicks the ball inside 50. Good mark. End-to-end footy from the Broadbeach Cats.
That's one mistake that the Gorillas made, and Broadbeach, they are one of the best teams in this competition for scores off turnovers, and that shows just how much they crucify you.
No, you're definitely right there, Yendi. One mistake could cost them another goal.
Well, Wilson Grange should be having a shot at goal right now.
Should, but aren't. Cats, speaking of shots on goal, that's a good one. Another goal to the Broadbeach Cats. 7-2-44, leading Wilson Grange 3-3-21. 10.5 minutes played in the second quarter, and I tell you, Richardson will be kicking himself.
Absolutely. That's look, that's the pressure of finals football, isn't it? And that was essentially an uncontested mark. And full credit to Broadbeach. They had that extra player through the corridor, so the handball that went out found a teammate who was unopposed and was able to get the ball going quickly.
And the goal before too, Lowe was the one trying to shut the play down. Coming across half-back, laid a couple of tackles, just didn't have a couple of teammates. They could have gone a lot earlier, Grange, kicking that goal before. They had that spare running back into the goal square. Couldn't get to him, but they kicked the goal in the end. 7-2-44, 3-3-21, 23 points the margin in favour of the Cats.
Here comes Dawson. He's dispossessed, taken there by Rosenberg. Switches it out now to Baker. Baker with an up and under kick was looking for Pettigrew. It bounces probably a little bit away from him in the end. Almost bounced favourably as Dawson found space looking for Lombard. Over his head. Boundary throwing out of side.
Geez, that turn of pace from Lombard for such a young man. He's got that X-Factor type speed, doesn't he? With the ball in hand. When he decides to go, he definitely goes. And there's not a lot of blokes in the competition who can compete with that.
No, not at all. Particularly for a 16-year-old doing wonderful things as he is. Aspley by a point over the Sharks. 21-20. Ball there at high half forward, taken there by Semler.
Look at the overlap.
Lucas Jellyman-Turner pulls the trigger and lobs the ball looking for Reeves. Reeves brings the ball to ground. 25 metres out from goal. Gorillas with some numbers. Lockett forcing some hesitation in there. Reeves, he's wrapped up straight away.
That's bad defence from Wilson Grange. Not getting in each other's road. Allowing your teammate, having the faith in your backline teammate to shut that play down. Don't get sucked into the contest. Speaking of contest, Lockett's going to be held up here. About 30 out directly in front.
I was looking... Oh, well, I'll make this point a little bit later on. I had a good one.
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought.
As Lockett couldn't get his hand on ball there. Ball ends up with Ericsson. Left foot snap. Got the belly of the ball. That ball's gone straight up now.
Free kick, hold. Broadbeach.
Now, I reckon that was more of a block rather than a hold. And again, just those little errors deep in defence for Wilson Grange have just been so costly this afternoon.
Well, this will be 4 goals from free kicks.
Too good on that occasion. Another goal to the Cats. 8-2-50. Extend the lead. Wilson Grange 3-3-21. 13.5 minutes played in the second quarter.
The point I was going to make, Broadbeach had a sensational year last year. There's nothing that could take away from that. But I think with what they've been able to do this year is far better than their successful run over the previous years. They are missing 10 players from the grand final side last year.
Is that all?
Just 10. So they have 9 that are no longer on the list, and one of them, Riley Bowman, who's not playing. So they've only got 12 players that have played in that grand final last year. And they've been doing that most of the season. That tells you that what Broadbeach are delivering this year is just out of this world extraordinary. And they've only brought in a handful of players, Nicholas being one of those, obviously, and Dawson. They're bringing younger players through that have come through their junior program, and they're taking the ball by the scruff of the neck there, including Semler, one of those players, and Lombard, another one of their junior products.
Look at this guy go.
Lombard now out towards Chadwick. Worm burning kick to Jasper. Chop of the arms mark. In fact, it was paid as a mark. And Jasper will go back and have a shot at goal number 2.
Jeez, you talk about Chadwick, you talk about Jasper, you talk about Lombard. You know, you'd almost argue that mosquito fleet of smaller players. I mean, you talk about Lockett, you talk about Searle, and you talk about Boakey. This next batch of players coming through the Broadbeach Football Club is going to set them up for the next 5 to 10 years.
Well, here's a chance to pick another big-time goal from 48 metres out. And he hits the woodwork, Jasper. So, game-high lead, 30 points, 15 minutes gone into the second term.
And this is where they just, last week, where they ripped Palm Beach apart, that run and carry, constant run and carry, turn of speed, having extra numbers at the drop of the ball every single time. They gradually get on top of you. Oh, what a leap! Didn't bring the ball to ground, unfortunately. Here's a chance for the Gorillas. Kicks the ball towards half forward. Unfortunately, no one at home. Look at, again, the bounce of the ball. Every time Nicholas goes near the ball is bouncing everywhere but straight. Searle gets the handball out. A little bit fumbly on that occasion, the Cats. They've got the extra number here if they're good enough. Gorillas. Steps back. Look at the tackle laid. Again, got the extra number to the contest through Jellyman Turner. Speaking of Jellyman Turner, handballs it back to Searle. Searle, handballs it back. A little bit of pressure here. Oh, good vision. Back in board to Lower.
Lower switches across the outer side. He finds his teammate. Metres in the clear. Out towards Nicholas again. That's not touching grass.
Look at Lombard.
Lombard there out of the corner of his eye. And he's speaking of metres in the clear. He's going for a Saturday afternoon stroll out towards Harrington. Arches the back just a little bit. Squeezes the kick out towards half forward. Lovely tackle there from Tommy Reeves, the former Labrador product. But I think he only kicked maybe 20 goals in his senior career prior to last week, and he kicked 6. So across his stints at Labrador, and of course this year, Reeves concedes ground out towards Semler. Had Nicholas there if he wanted him. Let to go up towards centre half forward, and Philippine marks. That's 50 metres out from goal.
And the Wilston Grange defence there, guarding space. They weren't guarding particular players. They just wanted to guard space. And all of a sudden, the Broadbeach kicking skills are way too good to fall into that trap. They're going to hit target. You give them some space, they're going to hit their targets. And Philippine lining up for his first goal of the afternoon.
Philippine from 49.5 metres out from goal. It fades away for a minor score. Quick around the grounds, and some big developments happening over at Aspley. It is the Hornets, 5-3-33 to Redlands Victoria Point, 3-2-20. The Hornets have kicked 4-2 to nothing in the space of about 15 minutes.
Well, we've been, arguably they've been the best side all year, Aspley, but they're just trying to make a bit of a statement against the second-placed Redland Victoria Point. Arguably, you'd go in favourite. Speaking of favourite, here come the Gorillas. Handball's back in board. Boakey was there, trying to lay the tackle. Good effort there. Richardson for the Gorillas. Drops the footy. No free kick. Ball just drifting. Rolls over the line. Boundary throwing.
Good decision by the umpire there in that case. The would-be tackler had knocked the ball out of the hand of the player, and that doesn't constitute a legal tackle, and rightfully called played on.
Richardson, just been a little bit fumbly. Can't quite get his confidence up at the moment. Hasn't taken any solid possessions really throughout the day. Got caught in the ruck with Dawson there. Here's a chance for Wilson Grange. Check side, long kick, back into the hot spot. Guess who? The Broadbeach General is back there. Searle gets pushed off the footy. That could be a goal of the year! What a goal! What a goal! Jeez, that was Fiddler.
That was Fergus McFadden.
That was McFadden, was it?
Correct.
Jeez, I've gone from Fiddler to McFadden. I had the perfect thing set up there for Fiddler. Got to hold on to that one for next time. That was a brilliant goal. That was a ridiculous goal from the forward pocket there.
Good luck beating that.
And no, you know, he had no chance of kicking that goal.
There's more something than class there.
Well, you're going to have a little bit of luck.
Those are the ones you're having shots at the training. That's extraordinary.
You know, that's if he's going to tell people that he was going for goal there, come on.
Pull the other one.
Jeez, go for the hot spot, do the team thing. Ball drifted back beautifully.
Maybe that will bring some resistance to this Wilston Grange outfit. But the way Tane Dawson is playing in the ruck at the moment, they're going to be finding it very challenging now, the Gorillas, to dominate the clearances as they were to start the game. There's another hit out there from Dawson. Tries to find Bishop. And another stoppage.
And again, they just need to take, from this point on, they've just got to take their chances, Wilson Grange, inside forward 50.
Something that Aspley are doing at the moment. They've now got 5 in a row. They're storming away. They're 20 points to the good. Back here at Subaru Oval. Comes out now to Boki. Squeezes the kick out. Looking for Philippone. Goes a little bit longer and finds Lombard, who, from all reports, bought some land out there during the week. And he's got to not trespass because he has owned that side of the ground that goes out towards his vicinity again. Lombard. He's got Dawson right up at centre half forward. The awareness was great. Just a little bit too much on the kick. Comes out now to McFadden, still recovering from that great goal that he's kicked, and a free kick too high. They've got to Wilston Grange at centre half back.
And there's one man forward of centre for Wilston Grange, so he's got to hold the ball up here. Kicks the ball out wide. Just allow some teammates to get back to half forward. Look at the spare numbers for Broadbeach here. You got Dawson, you got Boki, just drifting off as spares. Gorillas kick inside 50 to the only person he could have kicked the ball to. Taylor's there, roaming the pack. Coming back through the corridor. Taylor got absolutely poleaxed behind the ball. Free kick to the Cats. Misses Lockett on that occasion was Nicholas. Lockett still there, handball over the top. Look at Lombard go. Got tackled on that occasion. Handballs off to Harrington. Comes back inside. Chip side. Lombard's got it. Overlap. Snap on goal. And missed just about everything. Lucky to sneak that in for a behind.
There's Gilmore there. They almost did it a little bit too easy. They're the Cats.
Geez, they fell in a panic with not a Gorillas opponent anywhere near them.
And sometimes that can force you to be too complacent. Sometimes you've just got to play a bit better under pressure. As though you're under pressure. McFadden will fly, and he marks strongly. So his confidence is up from that goal as the Cats will look to make 4 changes very shortly. He was looking for Rook. Kick was ill-directed. Finds Howard. Up towards the corridor.
Oh, dangerous kick.
Fazaldine was the player in the gun there, and it bounces away from him, fortunately, there. And there's that ball again. Once it hits the deck in front of Nicholas, as you said, Kano. But Lombard plays on, takes the advantage, doesn't need to stop because he has a target in his mind, and he misses that. That being Reeves, and Gorillas are away.
Gorillas now. Here's a chance to hit back. Decides to come back in board. That's a little bit better ball movement from Wilson Grange. Kicks the ball short. That's Lathos in there. Hopefully I got that pronouncement right. I'm going to stuff that up all afternoon.
I've been reliably informed. It's Lanthois. Almost.
Lanthois?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with that.
French, I think, or something.
McGregor kicks the ball out wide. Here's that forward press from Jellyman Turner. That was Thew.
Jeez, his confidence is up.
McFadden kicks the ball inside 50. That's better. Gave his forward teammate the best option. Kicked it to his advantage. You're not going to be jumping over Rook's head, and considering the form he's been in the last 7 days,
He's been running hot, hasn't he?
This would almost be a gimme.
Yeah, he should kick this one. The team needs this one. The game needs this one.
Rook comes in now for his first goal of the afternoon, and give him a plug. Oh, but
It was
coming out of nowhere, takes an easy mark.
It was his partner in crime there in Fiddler.
Oh, Fiddler. I've been dying to say Fiddler for the last 10 minutes. After that snap on goal. Fiddler came out of nowhere, took an easy chest mark in front of the pack. Comes in now, straight to the goal umpire's hat. That's a better result for Wilston Grange. They've closed the gap. 20 points the margin now, 8-5-53 to 5-3-33 in favour of Broadbeach. We've played 24 and a half minutes in the second quarter.
The lead at Graham Road was 20 points. It's now out to 26 points. Aspley, just for the record, at one stage it was 3-2-20 Redlands to 1-1-7. It has been an absolute bloodbath. They've kicked 6-3 to nothing since time on of the first term. So it's finals footy. It's producing something unique.
Well, I must admit, we've had times this year where, to be fair, where Redland Victoria Point, when they do have lapses, they do allow scores against them to get pretty heavy fairly quickly. Speaking of scoring quickly, Broadbeach have had a knack of doing that this year as well. Wilston Grange burrowing the way through. Umpire decides to come in. Another stoppage.
Rosenbrook at the bottom of that one. He's just come onto the ground. Comes out now to Bishop. His imprint on this game is starting to get greater. The mark's been taken there for the Gorillas. They need to bring it out towards the commentary side. They've got Oscar Stewart screaming for it. Matthew takes on the Lombard. Very risque. The Budrick. And he's going to be penalised. G-A-W-N. He's gone. And now the Cats are off to the races now. They've got options deep. They've got a 2-on-1 towards the top of the goal square, and that's where the ball doesn't go. It goes out to Reeves, who circled back. He was that 2-on-1. Notice there was space in that forward pocket and marks in front of Lanthois.
And that was the thing. You had Dawson, who was sitting at centre half back as a spare man. Almost put the fear of God in the Gorillas. Didn't want to go down the line. Got caught as that kick on goal is offline again. So that's 8-6-54 to 5-3-33. Yeah, Dawson put the fear of God. The Gorillas didn't want to go down the line, turned the ball over, and again, that scores from turnover is starting to pile up for the Broadbeach Football Club.
Ball come out towards the other commentary side. Stewart was taken down behind the field of play. The last 4 scoring shots for Broadbeach after a red-hot start have all been points. As Wilston Grange up towards the corridor, Nicholas marks.
Nicholas finally got a ball that he could actually take a mark rather than allow the ball to hit the ground.
Quick around the grounds too, I'll give that in a moment. Things are starting to develop, but the ball hits the deck. And that'll be a throw in.
No love lost there. Lockett.
Umpire's not going to have anything to do with that. Redlands have finally got a goal. They're 20 points down. They've ended a run of 6 straight there for the Hornets.
Geez, they were hearing what I was saying. They're probably not happy with that comment, but I stick to it. Decide to get another goal on the board, so well done to the Sharks. Speaking of well done, Jellyman Turner lays a perfect tackle. Umpire decided to come in, said no prior opportunity. Throws the ball straight back up. Dawson was there, won by Wilston Grange. That ball could come through the window. That's okay. That's out on the full.
Kano had the grippo on. He was ready to take the mark over. And there, Josh here on the camera.
Right there. Searle, right in front of us here. Kicks the ball back to Nicholas. Nicholas has got someone behind him. And again, got to double check that. That's Gledhill, number 17 instead of 36.
Couldn't find his jumper for a semi-final.
No.
My goodness gracious, Kano.
He's going to sell it on eBay if they get up. Kicks towards Philippone. That's a good effort from Wilston Grange. Brought the ball to ground, but Philippone was good enough. Nicholas, that run and carry. Goes to Searle. Got a free man out a little bit wider coming through that corridor. That's better. That's Taylor.
It's a beautiful kick.
Taylor. Where does he go from here? Kicks the ball short. Good backman pressure from the Gorillas. That's holding the man. No? Or is he going to pay that?
It was a hold, so it will be a free kick to the Cats.
Jeez.
He'll have a shot at their fourth fourth shot on goal for a goal.
Is that possibly 5 goals from free kicks?
If successful, correct, yes.
Jeez, again, just those little errors. And it's nothing too untoward, but when you get damaged as much as they are on the scoreboard from these little mistakes, comes in now, and again, just pushes out to the right. So they've had a few chances in the second quarter, Broadbeach. They're not putting the Gorillas away so far.
At one stage they were 8-2-50, and now their last 5 scoring shots have been behinds.
And arguably fairly gettable shots in front of goal as well.
Correct. The last 3 shots on goal, or the Gorillas have had 3 shots on goal for the quarter. They've all gone through, including one spectacular one there from McFadden there on the boundary as Richardson puts his hands up, brings the ball to Grant Dawson. Beautiful work there, Tane Dawson. I had the privilege of calling his first senior game, which was in the VFL for Southport before he played a senior game here, and he did really well on debut, and to see his growth and development since then has been a great footy pleasure, as Philip Owens says the ball inside the forward 50 for a throw-in.
Yep, umpire decided to call for a throw-in. I think Wilston Grange was calling for deliberate, but umpire's the middleman. He makes the final decision.
Still 20 points the margin over at Aspley. It's the Hornets 46, lead Redlands 26.
Well, 22 points the margin here at Subaru Oval. Dawson again gets the tap out, but it looks like Grange is going to get the clearance. There's Baker, bit fumbly. Here's a turnover once more. Look at Bokey. Oh, great tackle laid there. That's gone. I was about to use your catchphrase, but I didn't want to. Towards Baker. Baker again, a little bit fumbly. Dawson, a bit of a push in the back. No free kick paid. Kick towards half forward. Again, no one really at home for the Gorillas. Got to lay the pressure on. Over the shoulder. Lower. Kicks down the line. That's half time.
To see if there's any more heat in the kitchen at the moment. It looks like there will be none of that. The umpires are all on watch at the moment because there's been a little bit of tension just in the few minutes leading up to the halftime siren. And they wouldn't want to do anything too silly at this point of the year because our man Joshy's got it on camera and he's not going to miss a single thing.
No, you're definitely right there, Andy. Well, it's 8-7-55 to 5-3-33. QAFL live. We are live, ladies and gents, for finals footy action between the Broadbeach Cats and the Wilston Grange Gorillas. 22 points the margin at halftime. We'll be back for the premiership quarter in a few moments. Mate, hide that perfectly wrong now.
What are you going to say? What are you going to say?
Fiddle around and then you jump in there. No, it's
No, it's good because...
My name's James Dryboss. I started umpiring at the Jindalee Jags Football Club. I've been going for about 20 years now. And I'm now just becoming an AFL umpire.
So I'm Matthew Young. I've been umpiring for 17 years now. Started at Jindalee Jaguars, also into the QAFL, into the NEFL, VFL, and then finally in the AFL.
Hi, my name's Andrew. I started umpiring at the Aspley Hornets Football Club. I've been umpiring for close to 11 years, and now I'm umpiring AFL football.
I was influenced by my dad. He was running around in Queensland at the time, and then the local footy club at Jindalee wanted some club umpires, so I thought it was a great opportunity to earn a little bit while I could. So I started in club umpiring and then really quickly kind of found myself wanting to get involved in the Brisbane Juniors, so then made my way through that pathway all the way into senior footy up here in Queensland.
So we started playing together back at Jindalee Jaguars, and he had a history of umpiring in his family with his old man, and seeing James umpire as well got me involved into umpiring. So to now share that experience that we've had for so long, 15 years or whatever it is, 16 years, to now umpire, and hopefully we get to do a game together at AFL level, which will be awesome.
I started playing at Aspley at under-8s football, and then when I got to about under-13s, I started my club umpiring journey there just to make a bit of extra money. Probably like a lot of umpires, I realised that I was a lot better at umpiring than I was at playing, so to get to any sort of decent level, I knew that it wasn't going to be through playing, it was going to be through umpiring, so it was a pretty easy decision in the end.
Down at Jindalee, it was a pint of Coke, whether it was a scoreboard or club umpiring or goal umpiring. Yeah, I used to run about 3 or 4 games a weekend and enjoy the 3 or 4 pies and Cokes, which was fantastic. I'm glad it's changed a little bit now.
Absolutely, give it a go. I didn't have a whole lot of interest when I was playing footy until friends and whatnot started umpiring, and then I just loved it from day one. So I think it's a great opportunity for you to build confidence in yourself. There's so many range of areas where you can develop yourself outside of footy as well, and it helps you in life in general. So give it a go for sure. It's a journey that I'm so thankful that I took up at a young age.
Obviously the 3 of us getting put on this year, and there's already 2 on the list at the moment, so to have a good strong contingent of Queensland umpires on the list is fantastic, and to do it with 2 guys that I've kind of come through the ranks with and umpired a lot of football with, it's really good.
It's been a long road to get to this position, and when the phone call came through, I was pretty speechless, and even now talking about it, it's still very exciting and really just looking forward to what challenges are ahead with it.
I think it's probably commitment is the number one thing. A lot of people have a lot of talent and a lot of people have a lot of promise, but I think if you can combine that with commitment and getting everything right off the field and putting in 100% like everything, I think that's probably what it takes is to get there. Yeah.
They got Werribee, Wilston, Box Hill, and Casey, and
Casey
yeah, and they have Casey have dropped 5 or 6 of their AFL players because they want to keep them in reserve for Thursday night. Melbourne Collingwood on Thursday night, so they've dropped Gunn, Grundy, Shaggy,
well,
I don't know. Yeah, it'll be tough. Oh, they've got a good one. I think their VFL players are the best.
I'll say this much, Finley goes
Yeah, I know, right? I'll back off. If I've had it for 2 seconds, that fucking game. I mean, sorry.
Just over a year.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I first started doing soccer.
What do you prefer?
Probably.
Soccer's probably a bit easier to shoot too.
Oh yeah, like it's nice and wide. It's nice and smooth. Much like the camera thing, the lights come on, you have to do it.
Yeah.
But if in AFL, then
Yeah. Imagine, yeah.
just doing this makes my arms tired.
Yeah. It's a workout.
Yeah, it's a workout.
Does it help with us as callers to sort of give you an idea of where the ball is going?
Yeah, so I kind of just tend to stay up across the line. So as soon as a player, or there's a whole group of guys coming, as soon as it has, it's a kick.
Yeah.
I sort of just time where the ball might be, and I just see the supplies that do get lots of touches.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of, try and just time it a bit.
It's good to get a variety of sports. Which sort of sport do you prefer the most? Like in terms of what you as a fan? Are you more of a soccer fan?
Oh yeah, I played soccer for like 12 years before I did this job. So yeah, soccer is kind of my thing. But I do like watching boxing. But yeah, I just haven't had the opportunity to watch as many professional games. But when I was younger, I have been to a few matches. So yeah. I haven't been to
Welcome back to the crazy ones.
but I haven't been to any like most recent matches.
Yeah.
Like, people think the place is rocking down, like, it's probably years ago.
Like Grange, it's all that.
You get there, 2,000 people.
Yeah.
20 years ago, I didn't see it.
That makes us feel very
Don't
well.
say something. Bring the respect to elders. It's okay, I'm 30, they go wrong.
500. Next year.
See, you're 30% next year.
Yeah, but I'm early next year. In the first week of the year. I don't feel it. I've been maturity of a 12-year-old, so Jess is like I'm Jess and I have been together how old are you? So we've been together for 13 years.
Like, I've been single very long.
I was one of those guys where I was the last one of my friends to be there. I chose the biggest sporting event in the country at the time to go to. When I got my first job, when I got a new set of books, the biggest sporting event I could possibly go to is one of each. So,
Was that you?
yeah. So, yeah, needs to look at that.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. And
You talk about commentary.
yeah, I've watched that footage. So
Mark Taylor.
yes.
40 in the background.
Yeah.
Don't lose your voice here now. Taylor lost it.
I remember Sid was close to not playing that day.
Yeah.
It was either going to be him or Doug the Ruck. And so Dougie was carrying the drinks and Sid's getting on and it's his birthday. Oh yeah.
Like that's it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know what's happening with training for those, so I'll just
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to week 2 of the 2023 final series. We're live here at Subaru Oval for QAFL Live finals action between the Broadbeach Cats and the Wilston Grange Gorillas. My name's Kane Browning. I'm still joined in the box by Chris Yendi Yend. And Yendi, what do the Gorillas need to do in the second half to get back into this game?
Just play possession football. That was something that they couldn't do as much of, particularly in that second term when the Cats really were determined to get away, and they're probably fortunate in a sense too. The margin hasn't got away from them, because when Broadbeach led by a game high margin, I think it was 31 points at one stage, but their last 5 shots on goal are all been gettable. They've been misses, so they've probably been a bit fortunate that the margin hasn't really blown out in a greater way, but they threw Fiddler into the midfield later on in that quarter to get some possession and push Rook around that sort of 45-metre mark as opposed to playing deep. So that's just something they've got to try and do to get that momentum going.
Geez, and arguably, and I'll probably call that a bit early, but McFadden's goal in that second quarter was just absolutely brilliant, right on the boundary line. Arguably, he was sitting in someone's car in the car park. That's how far over the fence he seemed to be when kicking for goal. But you look at and again, Broadbeach across the board, they've been a little bit cleaner with the ball in hand and by foot. I mean, the likes of the young man in Lombard, I mean, he hasn't got a goal on the board this afternoon, but his ball use going inside 50 has been brilliant this afternoon. And you've still got the likes of, you got Gilmore down there, you got Lockett down there, Jasper's down there, he's kicked a couple of goals, Bradley Lowe's kicked a couple, Lockett's kicked a couple himself, Ryan Gilmore's kicked one. I mean, you look on the other side, Bidler finally kicked a goal. I got those two mixed up, Bidler and McFadden. McFadden, like I said, goal of the year, 2023. Richardson's kicked one. Bazaldine's been the one for me, though. He seems to be the most dangerous forward for Wilston Grange this afternoon. He's kicked a couple. But, like you said, Yendi, 22 points the margin, 8-7-55 to 5-3-33. They're close enough if they're good enough in the second half. And if last week was any indication, you would have thought Wilston Grange would have started quickly off the mark. They didn't get that opportunity. Can they come into the second half like they did in the first half last week and just bring the pressure, pile on the goals, and put this Broadbeach, arguably one of the best sides in the competition, really under the pump in the second half?
A tough thing for the Gorillas, and it's been a thing in a few of their games this year, is that if they trail on the scoreboard early, they do find it tough to really peg it back. Now, they were 48 points up in the second term last week against Surfers, but the fact they were up by so much, that just gave them that confidence to hold on. the fact that they've got to come back down from 5 goals, I think it's a big challenge for them. And Broadbeach have had the capacity to be able to turn it on very quickly by running through the midfield. But Kane Browning with the third term here at Subaru Oval.
Tane Dawson still in the ruck for Broadbeach. You got the young man, number 19, in Westerberg for the Gorillas. And again, lost his footing in the last possible moment. Good enough to get the ball on hand. But again, there's pressure from the Broadbeach midfielder. Look at Lombard. Can he be clean? Taps the ball in front of himself. Lays the tackle. Could be in the back. Umpire says no.
Where does Lombard sit in terms of your plays of the day so far?
Well, again, he hasn't been dangerous on the scoreboard, but his ability when the ball's in hand, that turn of speed has been brilliant this afternoon. Speaking of brilliant, drops the mark he should have taken. That looks like Jasper down there, pushes off, gets tackled. Umpire says gone. So, that defensive pressure, good start in the third quarter. The premiership quarter, as we like to call it, from the Gorillas. They're going to be coming out of trouble once more.
Need to just bring the ball out towards this commentary side. They've turned the ball over. And that's a big, big mistake there.
Geez, Jasper just getting in the ear of his direct opponent there. Yep, made the mistake. You're under the pump. You don't want to have that perceived pressure start to linger into the Wilston Grangers game style in this third quarter, because as we know so far, Broadbeach, when they've been given a sniff, they've taken full advantage. Speaking of full advantage, there's Jasper. Quick snap on goal, ball rolling. Gorillas didn't really want any part of that. As the ball gets pushed over the line for a boundary thrown in the right forward pocket in the Cats forward 50.
Second half's already started over at Aspley. It is the Hornets drawing first score on the board. They're 7-5-47, lead Redland Victoria Point 4-26. And for those just joining us, Aspley did go on a 6-0 spree. As the ball falls short here, comes out now to Westerberg. Westerberg handballs out to Fiddler. He's a long way out from home. Ball kicked along the boundary on the outer side and finds Lanthois. He's got Rook on the outer wing. That lead has been ignored.
Boki just down the line, roaming like he always does, waiting for that long kick.
Oh, he's going out towards that territory. And I think that after ignoring that lead from Rook, there was no options behind him. I think if you're the Gorillas in that sense, just switch the ball.
You've got to get numbers to one part of the ground. Give yourselves the best chance to get some open space, because at the moment it's pretty easy for that Broadbeach defence to know where the ball's going, because that slow ball movement is playing right into the Cats' hands.
Boki's got the match up there on Dirksen as Budrick lays a tackle.
And Boki's not given any respect to Dirksen this afternoon. Boki's been running rampant all afternoon here at Subaru Oval.
Now that matchup has changed as Bishop gathers the ball here for the Cats, 65 metres out from goal, looking for Reeves. Good spoil there from Bowles. And we'll see a throw in.
And they have been pretty good one-on-one in the contest and in marking situations. It's just when the ball hits the deck, Broadbeach are getting those extra numbers to the fall of the ball and getting first use.
I love the work from Justin Bishop today. Had 24 disposals last week, and he's won quite a few clearances today, including that one there. I think he's up to about 4 or 5 at a guesstimation.
Look at Lombard just roaming behind this pack here.
He's been doing a job very easily across the day, almost like he's been given no respect as Bishop overruns the ball there for the Cats. Nixon Smith sees it out of bounds. We'll see a throw-in.
Geez, the only way you can not pay respect is when you look at the guy's birth certificate. Other than that, you've got to give him the respect he's due, because he will kill you on turnover and when he gets the ball in his hands.
He's got the match up there on Pettigrew. Comes out now to Budrick. Dodges the tackle there from Reeves. Umpire rightfully called play on. Boki takes his man out of the contest. Comes out now to Westerberg. Westerberg, well, like a glove there by
Here we
Dawson.
go.
Comes out now to Fizzledine. He just bombs the ball along. This will be a foot race. Here comes Lanthois. Lanthois came from a mile back to beat Searle to the ball.
Look at the tackle, though.
He ran out of petrol tickets. Right foot snap. It goes long. It goes good. It goes goal. Great start for the Gorillas.
And again, they've done it a number of times where they just kicked to space. They didn't kick the ball long. They didn't bomb it in. They brought the ball to ground. Geez, that foot race, I mean, unfortunately for Searle, the years are starting to catch up with him a little bit as far as pace is concerned. He wasn't going to get to that ball first.
That was like
and Lanthois was absolutely brilliant.
that was like giving Usain Bolt having Usain Bolt start 80 metres behind his opponent in a 100-metre sprint and Usain Bolt winning. That was the equivalent of what we saw there. And Baker kicking a captain's goal there for the Gorillas. That's tightened the game up to 16 points, Kano.
And to be fair to Searle, I mean, he followed up brilliantly, laid a great tackle, brought the ball back, made it a contest. But like you said, Baker was on the end of that one. Good snap on goal as the Gorillas look to clear the ball once more. Broadbeach trying to lock it up. Ends up in the hands of Dawson. Kicked the ball towards centre half forward. Lockett couldn't get his hands on the ball. Here's the pressure from the Cats. Good tackle laid. And that was Harrington. Well, Harrington's been fairly quiet on the scoreboard, but he's been brilliant at ground level with that forward pressure, that's for sure. Ericsson, snap on goal. I think the Cats will take that as a win. Ball rolls over for a boundary throw in the left-hand forward pocket.
And just repeating a stat from earlier on, for players involved in this team today for Broadbeach, 9 of them didn't play in the. There's 13 of them that are still part of the team from the grand final last year. One of them's not playing today because he's injured, perhaps.
Geez, Lockett brought the ball to ground. Philippone, snap on goal. Is that good? It's up in the hands of Broadbeach. Right on the line. I believe that's Gilmore. Yes, it is. Gilmore. Right on the boundary line here.
Umpire in perfect position there behind the goals.
He's going to go on the right. And straight into the woodwork. Well, if he was a left footer, he should have gone check side and had a crack. Cut down the angle a little bit more. And again, here come the Gorillas right up the middle. Ends up in the hands of Lower, gets absolutely crunched into the ground. No free kick.
Broadbeach has kicked 6 behinds from their last 6 scoring shots.
And a blood rule, says the umpire. Lower, come off second best from that contact. Nothing untoward. He'll come off the ground. Bishop will come on.
I've loved Bishop's game today.
Bishop has been another one. Again, you look at Semler, you look at Bishop, you look at Lombard. That sort of next tier group of players have been a real standout this afternoon.
Ball handballed up towards the corridor now, taken here by Bishop, who's just come onto the ground.
Call it as you see it, Yendi.
Lucas Jellyman-Turner pumps the ball inside the forward 50. There's a big moment here for Broadbeach. If they get one here against the run of play, it might just break the spirit here of the Gorillas, particularly given that they have still given away scoring shots.
Well, it's 8:56 to 6:3:39. 8.5 minutes played in the premiership quarter. As players come together once more. Wilson Grange get the clearance. I think that was Taylor there. Brought the ball to ground. Got a little of an overlap. Ericsson went bang! Laid a brilliant tackle. Grogan, medal winner. Gets the free kick for holding the ball. Chips the ball forward. Really a nothing kick. Here come the Gorillas on the rebound. Boki trying to cut across. Turn of space from Boki was brilliant. Brought the ball to ground. Back in the hands of Gorillas. Holding the ball, says the umpire. Right in the perfect spot to call that one, so well done. Broadbeach coming out of trouble once more, Yendi.
So Broadbeach through Nicholas. Has Semler out towards the commentary side. He might be the next player in the gun. Lets to go back up the corridor, up towards Bishop.
He's touched the ball 3 or 4 times already in this third quarter.
Yeah, since he's come on from a blood rule. Umpire says no 15 play on, so Nicholas handballs over the top, kicks the ball over the top to a teammate that he likes.
Looks like Chadwick.
He's got an option long up towards centre half forward, and Bowes will go back and try to be the extra player to this contest.
Crunch.
Martin picks it off at ground level there for the Gorillas. Right foot kick.
Here we go.
Richardson, he marks that one. Left foot kick inside the forward.
That's
50.
better.
And McFadden, we had Huey Fiddler up towards the top of the square. That was neglected. He'll go back and have a shot on goal.
No, and again, just a little bit better ball movement. At time, they haven't done it a lot this afternoon, but on that turnover, they're finding themselves in a couple of dangerous spots as the game's progressing. And if you're a Broadbeach defender on turnover, it's so hard as a defender on turnover because straight away you're under the pump.
Probably the most important kick of the day. If you can get this back, that'll be less than 2 goals. And he's drilled it. McFadden. He points to the way and he says, come with me. Margin back to 11 points. Wilston Grange have built some momentum to kick the opening 2 goals of the second half.
And like I said, Yendi, you just can't, you really can't, you can't defend when the ball's getting moved like that quickly. But that's the sort of game style that the Gorillas are aiming for in this second half. As Searle comes off the ground, Taylor on. Lockett comes back on as well for the Cats.
Broadbeach have not kicked a goal in 29 minutes. In that time, they have kicked 6 behinds.
Jeez.
And they were at one point.
That's a ridiculous stat.
But they were 8-2. They were
That's right.
8-2 at one stage, and looking like to run away with the game. And then McFadden pulled one out of left field. So it's they haven't had their kicking boots on.
11 points the margin here. Here comes the Gorillas once more. Ericsson trying to cut across. Philippone's there as well. Picks the ball up. Decides to handball. Looks like Nicholas there. Just hacks the kick forward. That's a little bit better ball movement. Ends up in the hands of Gilmore. Gilmore looking for Jasper. Jasper drops something he probably should have taken. Steps, weave, dodges back to Gilmore. And again, the hack kick forward gets cut off by the Gorillas.
So the Gorillas now out towards the outer side, up towards Martin.
Umpire call play on.
Baker now. Spears the ball up towards
That's
the corridor.
better.
Good defensive work there from Zanka Close. They're able just to put enough pressure on to slow the play down just a fraction. Out towards Gordon here on the commentary side. He's got an option further up the field. Marley McGregor. He ran into his teammates. What on earth's going on? Inside the 450.
Crunch.
There's carnage. Ball 15 metres out from goal. Fiddler makes the tackle. Here comes Nicholas, gives the don't argue, kicks the ball out, bounces out towards Lockett, taps it out beautifully to Lombard, who handballs it out to Ericsson, and the Cats are away.
Ends up in the hands of Reeves on this broadcast side wing. Reeves kicks the ball short. That's Harrington. Not a lot to go to. No one really in front of the contest here. Decides to kick to space. Goes long, looking for Lockett. Finds him. Lockett kicks inside 50. That's better from the Cats.
That was a beautiful lead there from Lockett. By extension, poor defending there from Wilston Grange. Because there was plenty of real estate there. The kick had to be perfect. And Lockett using his breakneck speed to find that. And he's an elite footballer to find Lowe.
And then Lowe being able to run this created space behind Lockett. That was brilliant team work on that occasion. Speaking of good, no, they're almost kicking themselves out of the game this afternoon, Yendi. I'm a little bit concerned for the Cats at the moment.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be too concerned in the sense that it's still 2 goals the margin, and we look at what happened with Wilston Grange and Surfers last week. Surfers had to come from a way back, but it was always going to be challenging because when they had the domination, they didn't hit the front. So it's the same position again, is that Wilston Grange essentially...
Oh, that's gone.
Matty Bolina, the umpire, in perfect position. McFadden, since he's kicked that goal from the car park, as Kano said, he has lifted, and he's got Huey Fiddler long. He's about a kick and a half away from this contest.
That's Dirksen with the ball now.
Got McFadden again there at centre half forward. He's on a mismatch against Harrington. And that's not paid, so umpire allows it to continue. Big fly, no uncontested essentially. Comes out now to Boakey. Boakey switches it out towards the commentary side through. He hasn't got a teammate to run into this time. Here we go. Comes out now to Nixon Smith. Hugs the boundary line with that kick.
That's too wide.
Out of bounds on the full, free kick. And around the grounds, Aspley have kicked the first goal of the second half against the Sharks. They lead that one 8-7-55 to 4-2-26 after being 20 points up at half time.
And all of a sudden, the Gorillas are starting to get their hands on the footy, which they weren't able to do, especially in that second quarter where Broadbeach started to get on top. As Nicholas comes across the ground, that's Gledhill. Gledhill goes up the middle toward looking for Taylor. No, not Taylor. Zanka close, sorry. Umpire's gone, nah, come back behind your mark.
Broadbeach haven't had their kicking boots on. They've kicked 7 points since their last goal. In that time, though, Wilston Grange have kicked 5 straight. But keeping in mind, they've had 7 shots on goal for 7 goals because they've had 3 rush behind. So they haven't missed from a shot on goal all day. There's a handy stat for you.
Jellyman Turner's got the ball in hand now. And again, all of a sudden, the Broadbeach ball movement is almost slowed to a crawl. Kicks down the line. No one at home for the Cats. Plays right in the hands of the Wilson Grange defence across half-back. Kicks the ball up the line. That's a little bit better. And this kid's been brilliant this afternoon, Fazaldine.
He doesn't need to get plenty of the ball. What he does with it is exceptional.
Launches the ball to a one-on-one. Good mark taken there. That's Richardson. Richardson kicks the ball inside, attacking 50, one-on-one. And who was out in the last line punching that ball away?
Boakey.
That was Boakey. Zanka Close was there as well.
Richardson takes the hardest mark of the day, and it was one that he dropped in the second term that resulted in a goal going down the other end.
McGregor coming off the ground, and Jackson Gordon coming on. As it gets locked up again, Zanka Close laying a pretty solid tackle. About 35 out from the Gorillas' goal. Ruck contest, ball hits a deck. Nicholas is there once more, gets tackled. And again, they're just locking the ball in here at the moment, the Gorillas. So you can slowly feel that momentum starting to get to the advantage of Wilson Grange. Ball hits a deck once more. There's a free kick to the Gorillas. Snap on goal. That's a goal. Is a play on though?
No.
No, says the umpire.
Yeah, essentially called time off. So time off had been called in that space there, so play
Get brought back.
Correct. And they're always touch and go with that decision.
Geez, this is Richardson once more. Last couple of minutes, he's suddenly become a little bit lively as Nicholas comes off the ground. Searle back on. So we watch this kick for goal. Richardson. That's a goal regardless. And all of a sudden, ladies and gents, 6 points the margin in the premiership quarter. Knockout semi-final QAFL action here from Subaru Oval. Broadbeach 8-9-57. Wilson Grange 8-3-51. Almost 19 minutes played in the third.
31 points the margin at the 18-minute mark of the second term, and in the space of 32 minutes since that lead was extended to that point, the Cats have kicked 5 behinds, and the Gorillas have kicked 5 straight goals. So that's since the 18-minute mark of the term where we saw a game-high lead, 31 points.
Well, they wanted a close final. We've got one right here, ladies and gents, at Subaru Oval.
We haven't got one at Aspley at the moment. I'll give you an update shortly as it's hacked out of there by Westerberg inside the forward 50 again as Fazaldine taken a ground, taken too high. So Fazaldine will have a shot on goal to level the scores, and I'm going to throw it in. Sorry, Kano.
No, I was just going to say, all of a sudden Wilston Grange being first to the footy. And guess what, ladies and gents? If you're first to the footy, you're bound to get the free kicks from the umpire. Sorry for interrupting you. Go on.
Right, mate. I was just going to throw a stat out there that might be ruined after this kick. Wilston Grange have kicked 3 behinds today. They've all been rushed. So they have not missed a shot all day. And Fazaldine has kicked 2 straight. Question of accuracy, he's got it.
Look at that.
Scores a level here at Subaru Oval. Right on time on. Oh, that's a love this game.
Well, we were talking during the break. We had Hannah, who's had a knack of calling games of footy this year, right down to the wire. We were saying at half time, well, she isn't here, so it might be, the margin might blow out a little bit. And all of a sudden, Premiership quarter, like you said, Yendi, scores are level.
Well, I've been involved in 2 previous games in calling this year, and Broadbeach have beaten Aspley and they've beaten Redlands Victoria Point. So every time I come down here, there's something happening. I was able to catch a game for leisure a few weeks ago. It was Labrador and Aspley, and Labrador gave Aspley a nice little towel up. So I'm loving the QAFL more than ever.
Geez, welcome back to QAFL action, Yendi, as the Cats through lower. Look, and all of a sudden the pressure's gone up from the Gorillas. They can smell the blood in the water. Ball hits the deck. Nicholas trying to get the ball out. That's on the ball. Yes, it is. Where does the pressure come from? All of a sudden. We've talked about the Gorillas' forward press and the amount of pressure they've been able to put on from the start of the game has been really, really good. But all of a sudden, like I said, the blood's in the water.
They've not been in front since the 15-minute mark of the first quarter.
Richardson, kick for goal. There's another one. They've got the lead. 10-3, 63. Leading Broadbeach, 8-9-57. Almost 22 minutes played. And where has it changed in the third quarter, Yendi? Can you tell me that one?
Well, look, to just put it simply, back kicking's bad footy. Broadbeach, they've had 7 shots on goal that they have missed from different spots inside 50 since the 15-minute mark of the second term. They have not kicked a goal in nearly 40 minutes of play. Just ticked on 40 minutes.
Jeez, it's almost starting to remind me of the Geelong-Hawthorn grand final in 2008. Geelong kicking point after point, couldn't get the score on the board. Hawthorn overran them in the end, but it's not Hawthorn, ladies and gents. It's the Wilston Grange Gorillas. Again, the pressure, huge. Ball gets locked in for another stoppage. Just forward of centre for the Gorillas.
Well, they've kicked 5 straight, the Gorillas, to 2 points in this quarter. Good kicking is good footy. The Cats need to do something here, and they count through Martin, through the Gorillas, back inside the forward 50. Here's an opportunity for Richardson.
He's gone again.
Stoppage. And the thing is, I'm not too concerned if I'm a Cats supporter because they can turn the game so quickly. They can get 3 goals really, really quick against the trend of play. So what we're seeing at the moment is some really good heavy lifting here from Wilston Grange, but they're having to play their best footy.
But Wilston Grange, it doesn't look like heavy lifting at the moment. This is what you call momentum, ladies and gents. The Gorillas have the momentum, and the Cats are trying to get their way out of it. Speaking of getting their way out of it,
Fiddler gets it out to Westerberg, gets it out towards his captain, who was harassed there by Semler.
That's a throw.
And Lombard might take the... No, the play has stopped. So this is good for the Cats because time to take the pace out of the game. And Semler, with his partner in crime in Eckersley playing in the VFL later today, that definitely hurts them. Bokey. I'll be looking to go further down the line.
If you tell me that was deliberate, That kick came on a 90-degree angle, almost check side off the boot. Even look at Bokey. Bokey's got a smile ear to ear on his face.
Dawson's going to be the target here. He was for quite some time. He got first hands onto that. Martin squeezes the kick out. Ricochets out towards the middle of the ground.
Look at the handball.
Fazaldine hasn't got much ahead of him. Comes out now to Rosenbrook. Turns around, does a 360 up towards half forward. Good spoil there from the Cats. Ball lands about 65 out from goal. Here's McFadden.
Great
Handballs over the top. Rook looking for Dirksen and Searle. Lovely work there from Searle. Ball port to ground 15 metres out from goal.
Oh, bang!
Gone. Free kick to the Cats and extraordinary defensive work.
Jeez, was that Nicholas who literally poleaxed him on the last line? Oh, Bokey, too slow. Could have given away the free kick. No, says the umpire. Bokey coming out of trouble towards Philippone. He pushes the ball over the line for a boundary throw in. Oh, player down for the Gorillas across half forward.
That's Lanthroy. So first instinct was not a good one, and
oh, he doesn't look good. You keep an eye on the injury, Andy. I'll keep an eye on the footy.
The trainers have gone out to him straight away, but
Dawson and Richardson.
He's okay, Lanthroy.
Dawson won it, but Richardson ends up with the footy. Ball kicked right towards that injury, ladies and gents.
There he is now.
There he is now, Lanthoys. Handball's over the top, a little bit of space here, trying to come back inside. Bokey put the pressure on, pushed him over the line for another boundary throw-in.
Around the grounds in the QAFL, Aspley have kicked 9 goals to 1 since time on.
9 goals to
1. Since the first term, they are now 40 points up over Redland Victoria Point, 67 to 27. So repeating that, Aspley 40 points up over the Sharks.
Ball gets thrown back in. Dawson on his own. Tapped it straight to a Gorillas player. Snap on goal. Is that another one? No, just sneaks in for a minor score. That's the first minor score for the third quarter.
That's their first miss with a shot on goal all day to go on top of their 3 rush behinds.
Searle chips the ball short to Taylor. They're just going to work their way out of this at the moment. The Cats looking for Jelliman Turner. Takes the mark. Looking to go back in board. He's probably going to have to go down the line though. Gilmore's leading. Decides to bypass him. Ball takes a little bounce just in front of us here. Ball rolls over for another boundary throw-in.
Quick around the grounds, and we've got the close one here today. Aspley have just put another one on the board. They lead Redlands Victoria points by 46 points.
Geez, sometimes you've got to keep your eye on the ball because Ericsson almost got the ball in the back of his head there on the short boundary throw-in.
Well, he's throwing into a hurricane here, our awesome boundary umpire. Umpire.afl, get into it next year, or head up to the Northern Territory. Give it a crack.
Reeves launches an in and out torp. Ends up with Gilmore. Gilmore on the boundary line, left foot, back to the hot spot. No one at home for the Cats. Ball rolling towards the boundary line. Unfortunately, McFadden couldn't get there in time to keep the ball in. He was all on his own. If he managed to get the ball in hand, he was off McFadden. As the umpire is going to throw this ball back in. Really dangerous spot in the Cats forward 50. Philippone's there. Gorillas are good on that occasion. Just hacks the ball out. Got to bring the ball to ground. Bokey's there roaming. Ends up in the hands of a Gorilla. The Gorillas now handballs the ball back. Oh, bit of a fumble. Good on that occasion though. Kicks the ball up in the air. No one at home for Wilston Grange. Nicholas was too good on that occasion.
He switches out now to Ericsson. The Cats have not kicked a goal since the 13.5-minute mark of the second term. It's plus 40 minutes at this point in time. Lowe is a long way up from home. He has hit the scoreboard. Marley McGregor is in the box seat, brings the ball to ground.
Good tackle.
On Cody Harrington. We'll see a stoppage right on the 50-metre arc.
Geez, the confidence is up, isn't it, from Wilston Grange in all areas in this third quarter?
38-point turnaround since midway through the second term as Bishop now just squeezes the kick out under pressure. It'll be a foot race up towards centre-half forward or centre-half back, depending which team you barrack for. Comes out now to Philippone. Handballs out towards Sam Jasper. Keeps the ball in. And we'll see a stoppage.
Geez, how many of those are we seeing this afternoon, Yandy?
A lot.
They're sticking their tackles, but they're making them earn it.
Aspley by 53 points over Redland. Victoria point. It is getting messy over at Graham Road. Aspley on their way to the grand final for the second time. And the winner of this game will travel over to the tank. And keeping in mind too, Wilston Grange is the only team to taste victory at Broadbeach this year. No other team has got the job done, Kano.
Well, based on form, they're looking pretty good at the moment. They've got the lead. 7 points the margin in favour of Wilston Grange. But in a dangerous spot here, right on the 50-metre arc in the Cats' forward 50. No one can take clean possession there. Just hacks the kick towards the boundary line. Similar's there for the Cats, but again, tackle laid. Possession earned. Ball rolls over for another boundary throw in.
38-point turnaround in the space of 47 minutes.
Well, almost 30 and a half minutes played in this third quarter. 10-4-64 to 8-9-57. Wilston Grange got the lead. Trying to get the ball out. And again, good tackle laid. And that's all they've got to do at the moment, Wilston Grange. Stick their tackles, put the pressure on. Broadbeach trying to feel their way out of this at the moment. Not having a lot of success. All of a sudden, Lombard's there, got the handball out. That's better from the Cats. Lowe ends up with ball in hand, about 45 out on a slight angle.
And this will put the margin back to a point. And in the shadows of three-quarter time, this is a very crucial kick. And he kicked the last score of the game for Broadbeach, as the mark has been taken there by Brandon Chadwick, who has subbed in for Jacob Townsend today.
Now, for such a good third quarter, we were talking in that first half about those little mistakes that the Cats were taking full advantage of. As the three-quarter time siren goes, can Chadwick get the margin back to a solitary point? Right on three-quarter time here at Subaru Oval to set up a great final quarter here. Chadwick comes in. That's a goal. Margin gets cut back to a solitary point, ladies and gents. Right on three-quarter time here at Subaru Oval. Broadbeach, 9-9-63. Wilston Grange, 10-4-64. And Yendi, it sets up a brilliant last quarter here.
Absolutely. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. The best is yet to come here at Subaru Oval.
Sorry for the team coming over at Aspley. They would have thought that would have won. I'd say probably not, because of one of the guys from Wilson play. So it'd be one of the guys from Sunshine Coast. I think. Yeah, so he tries to watch it. And probably fairly so as well. Today being a Father's Day. They needed to just kick the goal to just hit the front. They just needed to hit the front psychologically, because if they hadn't hit the front with that surge, Broadbeach probably kicks 2 or 3. Yeah, exactly. And Surfers kicked a goal to raise back to 4 points. Wilston Grange got the next one, and that was it. That started. So, and they were coming back from 8 goals down in the second half.
In all honesty, they've got a different type.
They're small forwards, it's not conducive to that sort of.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're not using it.
Rook belly out.
It's all about the small forwards. Mark.
Yes. Aspley's officially kicked 12 in the last 13 goals. And Hamilton's, sorry, it's Stackelberg's not. They're missing one goal kick. Stackelberg is one. Oh, sorry,
And welcome back, ladies and gents, to Week 2 Finals QAFL action here from Subaru. And I tell you what, it's not a misprint, ladies and gents. Broadbeach, 9-9-63, trailing Wilston Grange, 10-4-64. Sets up a brilliant last quarter here from Subaru Oval. The winner goes on arguably to play Redland Victoria Point next week. They're trailing Aspley in a blowout.
57 points.
57 points.
Aspley have kicked 12 of the last 13 goals of that contest since time on in the first term.
I'm Kane Browning, still joined in the commentary box by Chris Yendi Yend. And Yendi, that third quarter, once Wilston Grange got that momentum and got that confidence up, they were almost unstoppable.
Absolutely. Well, for Broadbeach, it was 49 minutes between goals, and they had to wait until the three-quarter time siren to get the job done there. So, crucial point, but this game is all set.
And between the likes of, I mean, last week you had Reeves and Harrington kick 10 goals between them. Between the two of them this week, they've probably barely gone near the footy, and they haven't got a goal between them this afternoon. So, who's going to step up in this last quarter? Winner goes on to play another day. Loser, the season is over for season 2023. Who's going to come out on top? Wilston Grange or Broadbeach? Time will tell in the next 20 minutes or so.
Well, Wilston Grange, the only team to sing the song after the game here in the QAFL in season 2023. The Broadbeach, they have been sublime this season. And their two big wins this year coming in back-to-back weeks against the Hornets and the Sharks, both doing battle at the moment. And it's the ball that'll go up towards half forward. Comes out now to Bowles. Bowles now takes on Philippo and kicks the ball around the body looking for Lanthois. Deft little touch over the top. And we'll give ourselves a harmless plug, but if you love Queensland football, jump onto the VFL app ball however you can get your streaming, because we've got the Q Clash. If you're sick of us now, make sure you have yourself a cup of coffee, because we'll be jumping up in the box over at Heritage Bank Stadium for the Q Clash between the Suns and the Lions as Budrick goes to ground. Handball out in front of Reeves. Here comes Lucas Jellyman-Turner, the best name in all of football, up towards half forward. Comes off the head there of Lockett. Comes out now to Philippone. Philippone now runs to 50, to 48. Vacant goal square, and that's a beautiful finish. Broadbeach first blood in the last.
Jeez. All of a sudden, you had Wilston Grange almost falling into the trap of what was going on in the first half. Putting too many numbers into the contest in the air. Ball hit the deck. Philippone. How good is he with his foot skills? Runs inside 50. Great finish. And all of a sudden, Broadbeach got the lead back. 10-9-69 to 10-4-64. 5 points the margin. A minute 40 played in the final quarter here at Subaru Oval.
Good Lucas Jellyman-Turner whenever he gets his hands on that, Sharon. It just seems to be a fair bit happening. That match-up with him and Baker here on the commentary wing has reignited for the first time since the first quarter, and Lucas is winning that battle after setting up that crucial goal.
Wilson Grange cannot afford to go back into their shell here. They've got to start doing the things they were doing in the third quarter, getting that possession game going. Speaking of possession, they kick towards centre half forward. No one can take the mark. Bokey at the drop of the ball. Left foot kick. Ball bounces off the chest to Philippone. Ends up in the hands of Baker. Solid contest here. Ball hits the deck. Richardson's there. Handball's over the top. No one get clean possession. Snap on goal. Coming back. Nicholas, last line of defence. That ball was in the air forever.
That was in the ball until grand final day. In the air until grand final day. As the Cats will try and clear the ball out. 4 points the margin. Comes out now to Reeves. Tackled by his opposite seven there in Fiddler. Comes out now to Philippone. Philippone takes a bounce on the commentary wing. Aided by Shepherd there from Lucas Jellyman-Turner. Up towards a one-on-one contest over the head there of Lowe. And Sue Marks gets the ball moving. I was looking for Martin, who was left flat-footed. The Gorillas, though, with some extra numbers. Stu followed up his kick. Looking for Lanthois on the outer side. The big match-up between he and Searle again. No, Lanthois has pulled up lame as the ball's out on the outer side.
Jeez, he's just about pulled a hamstring there, Lanthois.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the ball's going to drift back towards him. Searle running off his man now. Goes back inside 50, looking for Philippone. Got him.
Yeah, he's coming off the ground, Lanthois.
All of a sudden, Searle got off the chain. And all of a sudden, Philippone, in the first 3 minutes of this game, has probably touched, last quarter, he's touched the ball 4 times, set up a goal, and might kick one himself. Philippone comes in now, just inside 50. That one's going to drift to the left. No. Misses the lot. That's out in the full as Lanthois limping off the ground in front of us here.
Well, he hurt that lower leg in the third quarter, which we had concerns about, and he's the fastest player in this team.
As McFadden comes back on.
Yeah, what miracle can he pull out today in this last quarter, if you're a Gorillas fan? Ball out towards the outer side, pushing the back. Free kick, it will go to the Cats. Cats will pump the ball back inside the forward 50 now. Gorillas do have the extra number here as the ball eludes all of them at the 3-on-1. And it's still inside the field of play, only momentarily. We'll see it throw in. It's still 57 points the margin between Aspley and Redlands Victoria Point. It is Aspley ahead, 86-29.
Right forward pocket here in favour of Broadbeach inside their forward 50. Wilson Grange can't afford to let him get an easy goal here. Comes back out to Philippone. Not the best of kicks. That's out on the full.
He's really been this impact player in this first 5 minutes.
First 5 minutes, he's been dominant. And he's off the chain, and still no one anywhere near. No one's going with him at all as he drifts across to half forward.
Wilston Grange needing to make wholesale changes on the bench. If Lanthois is in fact ruled out, they will be down to 2 fit players after Bailey Gordon was ruled out with a knee injury in the first quarter.
They decide to kick long down the line. Ball comes to the front. They've got to get some run going off half back. Decide to go backwards. Right foot kick down the line. Guess who? It's Bokey.
He's been the sweeper today. He's really dominated that sweeping roll across half back and out of wing.
Bokey Steps back on his left, kicks inside 50. Good contest there. Ball hits the deck, rolls over the boundary line. Now, all of a sudden, Broadbeach are 4 points up, and they're just locking the ball inside their attacking 50 at the moment. Wilston Grange have got to find a way out of this. Get some run going.
I feel that it's more than 4 points at the moment. Psychologically, the Cats doing all the attacking, as Kane rightfully said. Bowers on his opposite foot, out towards the outer side. Fiddler takes down his opponent.
I think that's lower at the bottom of that pack.
There's only 2 players inside the attacking half of the ground there for the Gorillas.
You can't afford to get sucked into the contest here. You've got to hold your position, make these backmen accountable for the Cats.
Rosenbrook lays a bump, and a free kick has been paid. It will go to him, and he needs to bring it out towards the commentary side. He does the opposite. He goes out towards the far wing. Broadbeach do have some extra numbers. Umpire allows that to continue. Searle with a kick back up towards the corridor. Has Bishop in the middle as well as Lockett. Elects to go a bit longer up towards high half forward. Hits his teammate on the chest. Right foot kick back inside the forward 50. Looking for Jasper here. Jasper's put on the afterburners. And the ball eludes him, and that goes through for a point.
Minor score.
So 5 points the margin. 7.5 gone in the last.
10-10-70 to 10-5-65. Wilston Grange close enough if they're good enough. 7.5 minutes played in this last quarter. They've got to get it going their way. Where's he going to go from here? Got called to play on. Kick short. That's okay. That's Nixon Smith out there. Nixon Smith. Again. Kicks down the line. No one could take them. Richardson was there. Couldn't take the mark. Ends up in the hands of Richardson. They've got to go forward here, Wilston Grange. Can't afford to go backwards. Nicholas coming back with the fly of the ball. Way too easy for the Cats' defence on that occasion. As he comes back in looking for Bishop right in the middle of the ground here. Bishop decides to go long. Looking for the likes of Lockett and Gilmore. Gilmore was there. Philippone going the way. Grange gets pushed over the line once more. Another boundary throw in. And again, they can't afford to be the ball to be played just down this end of the ground for the entire quarter. Still 5 points the margin. Anyone's game here from Subaru over. And Chris Yendian, you can take over from here.
Yeah, Tane Dawson brings the ball to ground. Chadwick has just come onto the ground. Reeves around the body there, inside the forward 50 again. Mark dropped there by McGregor there for the Gorillas. They're working tirelessly. McGregor there with the tackle. And we'll see a stoppage. Haven't seen an update yet over at Aspley. But current scores at present, 86 the Hornets to the Sharks, 29. Lovely deft little tap over the top out now to Reeves. He was tackled straight away. But I think Wilston Grange need to open the ground up, use more space. They're continuing to kick across that outer side, and Broadbeach flooding numbers back with ease, getting +1, +2 around that contest as the ball goes up and under, up towards that outer side. Nixon Smith.
Good work, Ericsson.
Ericsson had 24 disposals last week, coming with some good form.
All of a sudden, Broadbeach have just gone back to basics, haven't they? They're locking the ball in, they're doing all those 1% things right, and just not giving their opponent any room to move in this last quarter.
Ball hits the deck 40 metres out from goal. Kick under pressure there from the Cats. They need to bring it out towards the commentary side, the Gorillas. Out towards McGregor. He's manned up there by Dawson. McGregor goes to ground. Dawson has Taylor in the corridor. Goes back to Zanka Close. Zanka Close on his favoured left foot kick. Up and under looking for Lockett. And ball goes out of bounds on the full. Free kick to the Gorillas in the right half-back position.
Now there's a player down inside the Broadbeach forward 50.
That's a Wilston Grange player.
That's a Wilston Grange player, so we'll keep a close eye on that. Time has been stopped.
Sharks have got another goal on the board. That's their second goal since time on in the first term. Margin back to 51 points in the last.
Okay, time called back on. They just can't afford to just go down the line here because that half-back line, Nicholas, Searle and Bogey, are going to cut it off every time as the ball gets kicked out on the full.
And the crowd know it over there too. They're enjoying it. They're having a great afternoon.
Jeez, it's a good spot right next to the scoreboard out there.
They've seen more play than anyone.
Ericsson goes long to the hot spot. One-on-one contest, ball gets over the back. That's Jasper. I believe that's Jasper. Or is it Gilmore? No, it's Philippone. Third time lucky for me. And again, this last quarter has been brilliant by Philippone. He's been brilliant in this last quarter. 11 and a half minutes played. They extend the lead, the Cats. 11-10, 76 to 10-5, 65. 11 points the margin. Still enough time for Grange to get back into this, but they definitely need to get the next one on the board.
Yeah, well, they've dominated centre clearances in the first half of the game, particularly in that first term. And they've continued to put the foot down in that space when they got that run on in the third. So this is probably a handy proposition for them, but they are down the two players on the bench with Lanthois and Gordon. They're out for the day. And should they be successful in winning today, then question marks remain on their availability as Rook. He's been thrown up into the midfield just to try and win some of the ball, especially after a big week last week. Kick up towards half forward. Jellyman Turner taking the ground there by Westerberg.
And that's the thing, Andy, the Broadbeach Cats in the last quarter doing those little things right. When you do the little things right, the reward for that effort comes by itself. You don't need to work too hard.
Nixon Smith back inside the forward 50, lands about 25 metres out from goal. That is, deliberate. Free kick to Huey Fiddler at the top of the goal square.
You could see that coming, couldn't you?
Yes.
He was right on that.
Well, is it the edge of the goal square that if you've got no pressure and you tap that through?
That's right.
Yeah, I think the umpire sort of gives that 9 metres.
Yeah, it says 9 metres, but it's basically the front of the goal square. He really had no option, but it was definitely a free kick.
And that's gone, that's in the trees. That's not coming back, and it's back to 5 points. 13 minutes gone here in the final term.
That's the one they needed, Grange. Just an easy option to take the pressure off. They're still trailing here at Subaru Oval, 11-10-76, the Cats. Wilston Grange, 11-5-71, 13 and a half minutes played. Jeez, and all of a sudden, that holds the momentum.
Yeah.
It's a free kick, and it just holds the momentum that Broadbeach had, locking that ball inside their attacking 50. It went up the other end once. They get a goal out of it, and can they get the next one?
And Brett Maloney has thrown caution to the wind. He's taken out his best goal kicker in Lockie Rook and has thrown him straight in the midfield again now. And they've won one centre clearance with him there. Let's see how they go with the second one.
You got Baker and Ericsson on this broadcast side wing as well. Rook looking to get that clearance, overran the footy. Ball ends up in the hands of Reeves for the Cats. Handball forward. Got to lock the ball in. That's okay. Good tackle there by Lombard.
He's been a bit quiet in the second half, which is surprising, but he is 16 years old.
Oh, jeez. Ericsson just hacks the ball out of nowhere. Jellyman Turner dropped the mark he might have taken. Tried to no argue. That's a free kick to the Cats.
Good effort for running hard at the ball.
Ericsson kicks the ball inside 50 to the only space he could kick to. Ball gets over the back. Got to be clean here, and is. But straight in the hands of Jellyman Turner about, I'd say 48 metres out on a pretty decent angle.
Bishop has signalled straight away to have a shot on goal.
Now, what's Jellyman Turner's range from here? I haven't seen a lot of times.
He might deviate to the right.
Set shots for goal. Jellyman Turner. This is going to go right to the hot spot. No, ball got over the back, touched on the line. So, margin. Back to a solitary straight kick. 11-11, 77 to 11-5, 71. Wilston Grange coming out of trouble, goes straight up the line. No one at home though. Here come the Cats once more. It's going to go for goal.
It's Cody Harrington.
Cody Harrington. And again, you turn the ball over in the middle of the ground like that, kick kicking straight down the middle of the ground. Ball hits the deck, straight back over the opponent's head.
That's the kick that you do when it's 28 minutes
Exactly.
in the last quarter.
Exactly.
So
When you're 6 points up.
Yep.
Harrington now. Outside 50, launches the ball long. Again, right to the goal line. Ball gets pushed over. Could be a very important point. 11-12-78 to 11-5-71. 16, just under 16 and a half minutes played in the final quarter. Who's going to stand up in the next 5 minutes? This game's going to be decided in the next 5 minutes of play, I think.
We've had quarters go for 32, 31 and 31. So we expect that trend to continue. Ball comes out the back.
That's silly. That is silly.
Against Westerberg.
He got sucked into that.
And Lucas Jallivan-Turner, quick to go, concedes 30 metres to Searle. Finds Nicholas. He's been outstanding today. With the lower right calf strap, doesn't impact his performance at all. Bombs the ball. It'll go inside the forward 50. Comes off hands there. Lands in the arms there of Tane Dawson. Fantastic work there.
Look out!
Lower takes a good mark.
Geez, that was like two trains coming opposite directions about to take each other out. And Lower, geez, just good enough to get it on the second bite. We might have needed a clean-up crew if they'd gone pear-shaped.
Absolutely. But full praise to Tane Dawson. Gathered the ball under pressure, had that split half second, and all his eyes were focused. He's kicking the ball up the corridor. He put his teammate in a tough position. But this could be a dart through the heart here for the Gorillas fraternity. Lower pulls the trigger.
Look at that.
13 points the margin.
And lets the Grange backline know it as well. And he's been another one of those players throughout the year, Lower, playing through that midfield group. It's just smart footy, good footy IQ, does the little things right, really consistent. And, and again, you get that reward for effort when you do those little things right.
Well, around the grounds in the QAFL, it is Aspley 14-8-92. They are comfortably ahead of Redland Victoria Point 6-5-41.
The question I've got for you, Yendi, have the Gorillas got anything left in the tank? Can they come back in the next couple of minutes? Get that next goal on the board. Put the pressure back on the Cats.
Oh, it's centre clearance stuff. They've been very good and very efficient at it all day today. As Westerberg will pump the ball long up towards centre half forward, looking for Dirksen. Couldn't quite get it on the fourth attempt. Good pressure there from Fazaldine. Lower handballs over the top. McFadden now goes to ground. And we'll see a stoppage as Aspley have put through another goal. They are 57 points to the good. They're 98-41. And it looks like the preliminary final will be held at Redland Victoria Point next week.
Geez, how good's Taylor been this afternoon as Harrington gets that clearance? Wilson Grange, got to be clean here. Can't give him an easy out. Speaking of easy out, here comes Lombard. Lombard, right into an open goal. Misses the line. Jeez. And again, it's that balancing point of the contest this afternoon. All of a sudden, Lombard's getting back into the game. Philippone's come into the game. Those sort of players, Reeves is starting to come into the game as the ball gets pushed over the line for another boundary throw-in. Harrington's coming back into the game. So, at the moment, momentum's with Broadbeach. Wilson Grange, you've got to find a way. You're still close enough if you're good enough.
Wilson Grange is just putting the ball in their hands. They're continually keeping the ball on that outer side where the Cats' defence, they're planning for it. The ball drops a little bit short there for Lockett. As Fiddler comes off second best, umpire was blindsided by any high contact. We'll see a stoppage. We've just hit time on, so quarters have been going around 30 minutes. 31 minutes, I should say, on average. As long as that ball stays on the outer side, it's going to be very, very tough for the Gorillas to get back into it. They've given away a free kick. And it'll go to it. It has been penalised as a throw against Lockie Rook. So the Cats got Harrington deep, looking for Ericsson.
And Broadbeach are just pushing, sorry Yenny, but Broadbeach are just pushing that press from half-back up the ground, so that wall is building. Every time Wilson Grange is going to get it like they have here, they've got nowhere to go because Searle and Boakey are just sitting off here as spare players waiting to intercept.
Well, it just says a lot about their engine too, because both of them are moving sort of quite freely 30 metres up and down the ground. As Budrick drops a mark that he would have taken 9 times out of 10. And we'll see a stoppage. There's been a couple of mistakes today that have proven costly for them.
Gee, and look, their mistakes, in the first half it was obvious that their mistakes, they were getting maximum benefit out of it, the Cats, as ball gets drifted. Holding the man, says the umpire, but that's going to Broadbeach. And again, just a little bit of ill discipline suddenly coming into the Grange's game at the back end of this contest. They were so good in the third quarter, but at the moment the Cats are on top. 13 points the margin, more than 2 straight kicks. Ericsson kicks the ball long towards half forward. Numbers fly. Ball comes to ground. Pushed over the line for another boundary throw in. Jellyman Turner looking to come back on. Got his head wrapped up like a mummy.
I just feel for it.
Just had a solid look. It looks like his nose has been put into the back of his head.
Yeah, but I just feel sorry for him having to take that off, the amount of hair that he would lose. You wouldn't have any troubles, Kano, neither with this fellow. Rosenbrook. The marks. Now they've got to start taking a little bit of risk and be a little bit more quick with their disposal. Looking for Dirksen. He flies. Boakey tries to shrug his
gone. He's gone.
And he is. Gang tackle. Now Searle and Taylor, they're all getting back.
Nicholas as well. Now,
umpire Matty Bellina.
A little bit of time wasting going on here.
Well, he's called time off anyway, so.
That's okay.
Rook plays on now. Kicked 7 goals last week. Ball hasn't been in his vicinity that often. Ball hits the deck. Going to ground. Here comes Pettigrew. Pettigrew squeezed the kick out. It was touch play on. And Bowles on his opposite side. Left foot kick. There's an opportunity here, and they'll have one here, the Gorillas, and it's McFadden again.
Geez, definitely got the matchup they wanted there with Searle. A little bit undersized in the contest.
Well, he's got the height, the tallest number 12 out there.
Just McFadden put his body in front, got to the front spot, took an easy chest mark in the end. Searle was doing everything he could to try and punch that ball clear.
To cut the margin back to 7 points, McFadden has kicked well all day. And this is no exception. 7 points the margin. 24 minutes gone here in the last.
Well, they've started the ball rolling a little bit later than you would have liked in this last quarter. Broadbeach 12-84. Wilson Grange 12-5-77. 7 points the margin. They need a 7-point play here, Wilson Grange. They need a quick rush kick down, point, turnover, goal back over the fullback's head. That's what I'd like to see in the next couple of minutes.
Well, quarters have been going around sort of 31. I think we've got maybe 5 minutes left or something to that effect, or getting close to. It's we've got a grandstand finish before us, Kano.
Arguably, here's a tip. Arguably, next goal wins.
There we go, we'll take it.
Wilson Grange kick it. They're going to come back and win this game. Broadbeach kick it. It's game over and season over for 2023 for Wilson Grange, as they're looking to get a clearance. Bishop is in there. Here's a chance for the Gorillas. Kick inside 50, one-on-one. Nicholas is there, couldn't get the mark. Searle was there as well. Handball back, Boakey's down there as well. We've been naming them all afternoon. Searle, Boakey, Nicholas. Half forward line, half back line from hell for opposition teams this year. And speaking of which, Boakey Gets possession, kicks down the line. Looking for Gilmore. Lombard's there, screaming for it on the inside. He's going to go down the line, though. Towards the boundary, looking for Lockett. Good mark taken by the big fella, number 19, Westerberg. He's had a pretty solid afternoon. It's been a good contest between him and Tane Dawson. Dawson was trying to get there on this contest. Ball comes to ground. Harrington holds the ball up. A stoppage right in front of us here in the broadcast area.
62 points the margin over at Aspley, who advance their way to the grand final. No doubt about that at all.
Lower's there. Lowe's there. Hacks the ball forward. Another intercept mark. Goes to Thu. T-H-E-W. Launches down the line. No one really at home. Oh, up, guess who? That's Butterick. There were 3 Broadbeach players just standing there waiting for the ball to come down. Butterick came in at the last minute, took an easy mark. Launch! Oh, couldn't get the mark. Ball comes to Dag. Handball over the top. This is Rook. Rook, snap on goal. I'm losing the plot here. Ball drifts through for that most important point.
We've still got the Q Clash to go today, Kano, so...
6 points the margin. I'm trying not to lose my voice, but it's 6 points here at Subaru Oval.
For those joining us, after we finish here, we're heading over to Heritage Bank Stadium for the VFL Q Clash final. But it will be nothing on this as Boakey thumps the ball out towards the outer side. Snell brings the ball to ground. Comes out now. Here's an opportunity for Martin. Martin. It'll go up towards Dirksen. Row minor score.
All of a sudden, Wilson Grange gained a little bit of momentum going. They need to lock the ball in here. Don't give Boakey an easy out. Ball comes out now. Oh, good attempt at a mark. Comes back in board. Handball. Snap on goal. The young bloke. That's a goal! Veseldine! What a finish! Oh, all of a sudden, Wilston Grange are in front by a point. 28 minutes played in the last quarter. Wilston Grange 13-7, 85 to Broadbeach 12-12, 84. Arguably, there might be only a couple of minutes left. And I'm sorry if I sound like Darth Vader at the end of this, but my voice is on its way out.
Well, as we've said a number of times today, Wilston Grange are the only team in the QAFL senior competition that has sung the song at the end of the final siren in season 2023. The only team to get the job done over the Cats. And after the most miraculous performances of the season last year, they were in front. Bishop.
That's on the ball.
It's hacked out of there by Dirksen. Inside the forward 50. Fiddler brings it down. Comes out now to McFadden. Beautiful tackle there by Brendan Taylor. Braden Taylor will see a ball up.
Oh, Taylor's come off second best out of that contest too. Just jumped up.
What the Gorillas have done now is they've put Dirksen and their other ruckman deeper out of the forward 50.
Can't give him an easy out here. Got it one-on-one in the forward 50. Got to play one-on-one. Don't let anyone off the chain. Speaking of which, kicks ball towards Philippone. Ball hits a deck. Numbers with Grange. Back inside attacking 50. Oh, 2 Broadbeach players come together.
Free kick.
That's a free kick to Grange.
This, if they come away with the win here,
oh wow,
you will never find 2 wins back to back as good as what this football club has produced.
Jeez,
last week's game was extraordinary.
This is insane. This game, the sub ebbs and flows back and forth, goal for goal. And guess who? This bloke could just about be best on ground if Wilson Grange get up. Veseldine, he's lined up for goal number 4. Veseldine.
The young kid.
This could be the last nail in the coffin. Comes in now. Right foot kick. That could be it. Basildine, the man of the moment. He's kicked 4 goals this afternoon. What a brilliant performance. And better yet, what a brilliant second half from the Wilston Grange Gorillas. No one would have given them a chance going into this game after Broadbeach won by 95 points last week. And the Gorillas just got over the line in the longest game ever against Surfers Paradise. What can you say, Indy?
Well, to put things in perspective, at the 18-minute mark, or 13 minutes ago, when Lower took a courageous mark, put his team up by 13 points. In that time, the Wilston Grange have kicked 3-2 to nothing in 13 and a half minutes of play. As Martin hacks it forward there for the Gorillas. It bounces on a dollar out there on the outer side, taken there by Boakey. Boakey with a left foot kick, looking for Lombard. Goes full chest and recovers well. Handball's over the top now, Broadbeach. Inside the forward 50. Strong defensive work there by Gordon. Kick around the body, up towards the top of the goal square. And that's a mark. Oh no, ball sent out of bounds. Boundary throw in.
They've got to kick a goal from this next passage of play, Broadbeach. Because Wilston Grange got the 7-point margin. A straight kick won't do it for the Cats. This is insane, ladies and gentlemen, from Subaru Oval. I'm going to try the best I can to finish this game off as we're waiting for the ball to come back into play. Boundary umpire comes in a couple of metres to throw this ball in. Left forward pocket for Broadbeach.
Free kick for a hold, and it will go.
No. The ball's going to get thrown back in.
So the umpire had actually warned the players to not make contact.
They've got to have a little bit of separation as the ball gets thrown in. Which it has now. Lockett flies, couldn't bring the ball to ground. This is what the Gorillas want. Ball just to roll over the line for another boundary throw in. Can't be too long to go, ladies and gents. 7 points the margin in favour of Wilston Grange. Arguably upset of the year in a knockout semi-final.
Well, I had Broadbeach and Surfers Paradise as my smoky grand final. So they've both potentially been knocked out in consecutive weeks.
It could be all she wrote here, ladies and gentlemen, from Subaru. Ball gets hacked forward. They've got the extra number, Grange. Richardson brought the ball to ground. Broadbeach, gotta go. Looking for the likes of Searle. Ball gets over the back. Numbers are with the Gorillas though. And guess who? That's McFadden. Locks the ball in there. Right on forward 50.
7 points
for
the margin. Cats. The longest quarter that we have seen today. Eclipsing the 32-minute quarter in the second term as Dawson brings it down the ground. Sharked out of there by Rosenbrook.
Gotta go.
Glenhill now here for the Cats. Smack bang in the middle of Subaru Oval. Right foot kick, skews off the side of the boot. Comes out now to Lombard.
Oh, great tackle.
And no prior opportunity. Umpire called play on as Hughes ridden in the ground.
How good was that tackle?
This is phenomenal. And you can see Baker here. We got Rook.
Look at these boys on the boundary line.
They've been down to 20 men since early in the fourth quarter.
I'd say third quarter when Gordon went off with that knee.
And Lanthor's was sort of taking up space. He come off injured. So to have 20 men during this resurgent here from Wilston Grange. Right foot kick. Minus score.
We're back to a 6-point margin. Could we have a draw, ladies and gentlemen? Could we have a draw? I know we can't really afford to have a draw.
We got our VFL commitments, mate.
We can't afford to have a draw. That'd be a crazy ending.
And man, Joshy wants triple pay.
Oh, triple pay.
On the camera.
Well, at least someone's getting paid. I know I'm not. Mark taken. There's the siren! Can you believe it? Upset of the year. Wilston Grange. 12-13, 85, Broadbeach. Not good enough. Wilston Grange, 14-7, 91. The Wilston Grange boys are going off their nut. What an upset here from Subaru Oval. Season over for season 2023 for the Cats. And look at those Cats players. They can't believe it, Yendi.
Oh, extraordinary scenes here. And look, they've been written off for all money. I think when the game had blown out to 2 goals. And for the second week in a row, Kano, Wilston Grange have won a final by 6 points.
Well, you know, we talk about heart in football. That last quarter, and to be honest, that last 10 minutes of the last quarter, that was all hard from Wilston Grange. Win well deserved. It's Broadbeach doing the right thing, being very good sports, ladies and gents. Handshakes all round, but to say it's been a missed opportunity from Broadbeach would be an understatement. I'm sure Craig O'Brien is very proud of his men, but in the end, Wilston Grange, when push came to shove, they got the chocolates. Well, ladies and gents, we might go through some goal kickers and best players. I'm going to leave the best players to you.
I'll go through
Andy,
the best players. I do want to send a big thanks to our main man here, Joshy from Double Take. He's at the absolute top of his game with the wonderful work that he's done today, and we do appreciate his wonderful services. But Kano, you go through the goal kickers, mate.
Oh, I've lost track of the goal kickers. I got caught up in the last quarter there. I hope I don't miss any of these. You've got Philippone with 1, Gilmore 1, Lockett 2, Low 2, Lower 1, Jasper 2. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a few on that. Apologies. And for Wilston Grange, you got Fiddler with 1, McFadden with 3, Fezzeldine, arguably best on ground with 4 goals, and Billy Richardson bobbed up with a couple as well.
Oh, my votes are always challenging because it was a real team effort here from Wilston Grange, but I've given 3 votes to Jake Fezzeldine, the young kid that stepped up, 4 goals was the key. 2 votes to number 22, Bishop there for the Cats, and I've given 1 vote to Boki. His work across half-back was second to none. Absolutely wonderful. But it's been a wonderful game, and look, if you're a Wilston Grange fan, I feel for you in a good way and a bad way, because you've just had 2 heart attacks in the space of 2 weeks, and you travel to the Tank next week in what will be an intriguing contest, because we'll have the Sharks and the Gorillas, and both of them play a very attacking style of football, and that's going to be a mouth-watering feast in itself. But Kano, you to wrap things up.
Well, ladies and gents, it's not a type over. Can you believe it? Wilston Grange gets up in the end at Subaru Oval as we watch the Cats trumble off the ground. Their season is over for season 2023, but for the Gorillas, they've got a date with the Sharks next week, and what a beautiful, great game that's going to be. We're going to leave you here, ladies and gentlemen, from Subaru Oval. Thank you, Yendi, for your contribution this afternoon. My name's Kane Browning. We'll see you all next week. Catch you later.
What the fuck was that? Yeah, I know, right? We'll get up and see Wayno, and I mean, I think it's a good thing and a bad thing, because it's a VFL format, it's a QAFL, it's going to be big in itself, but I don't care what level of footy you fall, we'll go from that to well, fortunately, this is where you get